Hello and welcome to the Football Social with Sky Bet. What a show we have for you today. 4 Premier League games and loads of stories within that, of course. So let's meet who is on the show. Starting from right to left, Doogie back in Social Corner. Doogie, thank you for coming on the show. Tell us about your role and how you want people to get involved at home.
Yeah, absolutely delighted to be here. Get your questions in on the Football Daily and Soccer AM live streams in the comment section, and I will ask them to our lovely panel of guests today.
Yeah. Speaking of which, a man who's making his debut on the show. I can't list all your former clubs. West Ham, Spurs, Liverpool, Charlton, Leicester was it as well?
Yeah.
Paul Konchesky, great to have you on the show. Woo! What took you so long, mate, coming on?
Really and truly?
Yeah.
You not inviting me. That's why.
Great to have you on. And luckily for you, we'll mention the games actually, but loads of your ex-teams playing.
They are, yeah. Looking forward to it, and hopefully all my local teams can do well.
Yeah, OK, so Paul will be watching our feature game. So our feature game is Liverpool against Brighton, although we will be across all of them. And of course, Will Brazier in his big chair, as he always is. Will, you're our armchair fan. So just remind the viewers of the other games that you're involved in. You're watching.
Yes, I'll be watching Spurs. Spurs?
Who?
Way, great start to the show. Spurs versus Bournemouth, Chelsea versus West Ham, and Burnley versus Crystal Palace.
Yeah, which one are you most looking forward to out of them, Will?
Probably go for Burnley versus Crystal Palace for myself. I'm
Really?
a football purist, so can't get my words out today.
OK, right, let's have a look at the results so far, because we've already had a game that has taken place. It's a big one at the top of the table. What? Newcastle 2, Man City 2. Liverpool fans will be buzzing when they see the results. And there's confirmation of the other games: Burnley Palace, Chelsea West Ham, Liverpool Brighton, Spurs against Bournemouth, and then a huge game at the bottom of the table tonight. That is live on Sky from 5:30 kickoff. It is bottom against second bottom, a big 6-pointer between Southampton and Watford. Let's have a look at the Premier League table as it stands. So, huge news for Liverpool fans. Look at that. I think if my maths is correct, Will Brazier, that is a 8-point swing between Liverpool and Man City. And, of course, Liverpool have a game in hand.
Correct. Great maths.
Is that correct? So, there we go. Paul, got to talk about your ex-side Liverpool. Is this finally their year?
With the gap, which they may even make bigger today after today's game. For all them fans now, they'll be hoping they just keep game by game winning, and hopefully by the end of the season they get their hands on that trophy.
They came so far last season, 97 points, which is just, when you think of it as a points tally not to win the Premier League, it's just madness, really. Champions League again, 6th European trophy, but never won the Premier League. Do you look at them this season? I think they've improved even more from how good they were last season.
Yeah, I do, yeah.
You do, yeah.
I think the manager's got whoever plays. I've got them playing a certain way, and whoever comes in or out of the team, they're up for the job, and I think it proves just how well they're doing week by week.
And as a player, will they be looking at the result of Man City? I know that players say they just focus on the job in hand, one game at a time, game of 2 halves and all the cliches, but will they be aware of that Man City result? Because that is a big result for them, isn't it? Yeah,
no, even if as a player you don't know, you at that stadium, them fans know. They keep an eye on them sort of games, so it gets about. So I think the players will they'll know, but they know they need to concentrate on their game to get the maximum points and get more points ahead of the league table.
Doogie, you're on Social Corner. We've had hundreds and hundreds of comments on our previous shows recently. Any comments from happy Liverpool fans at the minute?
Yeah, we do. There's plenty that all come in. Harry Rembrandt says, What is the injury to Fabinho how's that gonna impact Liverpool in this game and going forward? What do we think about that? Fabinho injury in midweek in the Champions League against Napoli.
What do you reckon, Paul? It's a big injury, that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a big one. I think this season especially started really well, and he's got better and better through the season. But they've got great cover. Wanyama, he played a lot last year. Played that role really, really well. So hopefully he can step up and carry the good form on.
OK, let's remind us of all the teams. The team news are in. Here we go. So this is the Liverpool team. Alisson in sticks, Alexander-Arnold, Lovren, Van Dijk, Robertson. Midfield 3 of Henderson, Wijnaldum and the Ox. And then that famous front 3. Goals galore in that. Salah, Firmino and Mane. So that is the Liverpool side. Let's have a look at their opponents. This is how they will be lining up. Brighton side. Ryan in goal. Webster, Dunk and Burns. So back 3. Montoya, Bissouma, Stevens and Proper, with Gross, Connolly and Moy up top. Look at that team, Paul. Any areas, the main areas that Liverpool have to be worried about? Interesting formation Brighton are going with today. Connolly looks a good young player, doesn't he?
He'll probably want to run in behind as well, so something that Liverpool may not have had before, a forward that wants to run the other way rather than always come to feet. But I think Liverpool could be dangerous in their final third as well, with the top three you've just mentioned, against three of their centre-backs, so they're not going to want to go out wide where Mane and Salah would be.
Another big game today, of course, is the mighty Tottenham Hotspur against
Spurs.
Bournemouth. Jose Mourinho's at the wheel, Will.
Yeah.
Can you say that?
Yeah,
is
you
it the wheel?
can.
Is it
Don't
just
say it
Friday?
though, apparently it's a bit of a curse.
It is a
if
bit
you
of a
say it.
curse, yeah. We're looking at live shots of him. This is, of course, his first home game in charge at Spurs. 2 games he's overseen, the West Ham win 3-2, and, of course, the win at Olympiacos as well. So first home match in the Premier League. We can see there he is saying hello to all the ball boys and mascots. The ball boy in the week was a bit of a hero. Was invited in for lunch. He looks very happy. Paul, are you seeing a different Jose Mourinho to the one we saw at Man United, or do you think this is what Jose's like early on? How do you analyse Jose's body language so far?
Very good. I think when he first came to the Premier League, that's how he came. It was obviously a tough ask at Man United for him, and the pressure he had, and the way it maybe ended. But he's had a break now, and he looks like the Jose Mourinho I personally thought was, and I think a lot of people think he's back to how everyone knows.
Will, Jose, he splits opinion.
Well,
what are your thoughts on him?
He's come as the special one, the happy one. He looks like the content one, I think, at the moment. Just looks very happy with life. Got all the experience in the bag, 2 wins under the belt, and maybe can kick on again.
You've thought about that on the train down, haven't you? The content one.
I just came up with that, mate. Just come up with that.
It's no
good.
surprise, though. He's had a year off. I mean, if he came in angry now, I mean, what's he going to be like in a couple of months when he starts falling out with Levy over transfers? I just can't see this. I can't see this happening whatsoever.
Really? Why?
Unless Spurs change their transfer policy. Like, you're a notoriously, well-run club financially. And Mourinho in his first year in Chelsea, when he went back, it was like Schürrle, Willian, Matic came in. So he spent over 100 million every summer in his first summer in that new role. And unless Spurs are prepared to do that, I think there's going to be, issues developing. And he's also got a lot of problems in the squad as well. Like, do Alderweireld and Vertonghen now want to stay? Does Eriksen still want to leave? Players like Eric Dyer coming back into the side. There's a lot to sort out. And I think that it's too much to ask for him to get into the top 4 mix this season, which I've seen some people say already. So.
Ooh, OK, strong opinions. I like that. Splitting opinion already on the football social, Jose. Another big game, Chelsea West Ham. Another one of your former clubs, Paul. I feel like we're saying this wherever you go because you played for so many clubs.
Right, yeah.
Chelsea West Ham. We don't like talking on the show about managers getting sacked. It's a very negative sort of mindset with managers. But I think we'd be lying if we were saying that there isn't a concern for Pellegrini because of the way West Ham are playing. How do you see the situation at West Ham now? And are you surprised with just how things are going? I mean, they haven't won in ages, have they?
No, they haven't. I'm surprised, yeah. They've got a great squad there. I think they started the season quite well.
Not won in 7 Premier League matches is staggering, that, isn't it?
And like, it's easy to say when you're winning you get confidence, but when you're in that rot of losing, it's hard to get your confidence back. They need to put a stop to the rot. It's going to be a tough ask today, I suspect. But losing Fabianski was a massive one for West Ham, I think, with a goalkeeper. So hopefully they can try and stop a rot today, even with a draw at Stamford Bridge. Yeah,
we're showing you live pictures now. These are, of course, from Stamford Bridge. We saw Declan Rice and Mark Noble warming up. Of course, Olivier Giroud. First start for Olivier Giroud this season under Frank Lampard. So big match for Olivier Giroud. Do you expect him to have an impact, Will?
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Because he plays the Batman normally during the cup games and normally off the bench. So I thought we'd start with him, and he has been scoring when he's been given the chance. But Giroud's like the ultimate assist merchant, isn't he? He brings everyone into play, and maybe that's what Frank's looking to do.
16-13 against West Ham, Giroud. So he does like. Do you reckon Frank looks at that and thinks, oh, he's got a good record against West Ham, stick him in, or is it just there's an injury?
Well, it's something I used to score all the time against Catthill Warrior, so they used to get back in the big games there. So maybe it's something similar.
Similar, yeah?
Yes,
similar, yeah.
So.
Is he a player that you can see at Chelsea long term, or do you think it doesn't look like Giroud's going to feature a great deal under Lampard, does it? Do you think, can you see him doing a loan move in Jan, Paul?
I can't see him staying there for the long haul. But with the transfer and may have to stay just till the end of the season until Frank can freshen it up and bring who Frank sees fit.
OK, we've got some more footage of Jose, who is embracing the pre-match. What's that, Will? Here he is.
Jose Mourinho, manager Spurs.
Jose Mourinho, there he is with all the mascots. Isn't this great to see?
What's he turning into? Man of the people? Like, he's head of mascots. Like, this is
Ambassador,
bizarre.
look at it.
There he is, look, going...
I don't
Very
think you
suave.
see him like that, did you,
No,
before?
true.
No.
He's getting all the Spurs fans on side. It's
And I know
clever.
He's had a year out or whatever, but that's how
It's
he used to be.
That is how he used to be, isn't it?
That's how he used to
I
be.
can see a difference in his body language. I know that Man United fans, the cynic will say he was like this at the start, but we're trying to... We'll tell, of course. Our teams are coming out of the tunnel imminently. We can give you some live shots right now. We are moments away from kickoff. Do not forget, all of our games kick off at 3 o'clock. Our feature game, Liverpool v Brighton. These are the teams right now. Liverpool make one enforced change from last weekend's win at Palace. The injured Fabinho is replaced by Mo Salah, which means that the Ox moves back into a midfield three. 4 changes for Brighton after the 2-0 home defeat to Leicester last Saturday. Yves Bissouma, Lewis Dunk, Pascal Gross and Aaron Connolly all return. So those, the live scenes at a very noisy Anfield and a happy one after the Man City results. These are the scenes at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea 4 changes from last weekend's league defeat at Man City. James, Mount, Pedro and Giroud replace Azpilicueta, Kante, Willian and the injured Tammy Abraham. West Ham also make 4 changes from their defeat to Spurs. David Martin makes his West Ham debut in goal, whilst Balbuena, Fornals and Antonio all return to the starting 11. Antonio had a good game last weekend against Spurs, coming on and scoring a goal, of course. 2 more games as well that kick off at 3 o'clock. We can go to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, the beautifully erected Tottenham Hotspur Stadium with the beautiful Tottenham Hotspur players walking out. I love that scene.
He is buzzing.
Jose Mourinho makes 3 changes from Spurs' Premier League win at West Ham. Interesting lineup actually from Jose. Vertonghen and Ndombele and Sissoko replacing Davis, Winks and Lucas Moura. I suspect that is just a rotational policy going on there, particularly with Lucas Moura not featuring. And boss Eddie Howe also ringing the changes. 4 changes from the side that lost to Wolves last Saturday. Dominic Solanke, Jefferson Lerma, Arnaut Danjuma, Groenveld and Jack Stacey all start. So our last game, the one that Will Brazier is thoroughly looking forward to. Let's hope it's not a 0-0 ball score draw at
Can't
Turf
say
Moor.
that,
It's Burnley are forced into 1 change from the side that beat Watford in their last outing. Robbie Brady comes into midfield for the suspended Ashley Westwood. Crystal Palace, meanwhile, make 2 changes from defeat to Liverpool last weekend. Joel Ward and Gary Cahill are both out with knee injuries. So Martin Kelly and Scott Dan step in. OK, before we get to kick off, we are moments away. Do you get any more questions from social? Just remind the viewers how they can get involved in the show.
Yeah, please do get your questions in the comment sections of Soccer AM and Football Daily's live streams. This one comes from Zadzaki Hakim, who's asked, what should the goal be for Chelsea this season? Obviously, they've started really well. I think surprised quite a few people. Where do we think they can end up now?
Will, what do you think, Chelsea?
At the start of the season, I had them about 6th, but I think everyone just keeps dropping points, doesn't they, in that top 4. Nobody really wants to claim it. So he's got the crowd on side, he's got the players on board, so maybe a 4th, little sneaky 4th. It depends what Spurs do, I think, how strong they come back.
Little sneaky 4th. Can you see them top 4, Paul?
Yeah, I can. The way they're playing, knowing Frank and Jody, they know the young boys as well, and you see they're not scared to put a young one in. So I think they can push for the top 4 spot.
OK, yeah. Well, I mean, hopefully Spurs will get top 4, but I think it's probably... It's interesting, isn't it, though, because at the start of the season, everyone had Spurs nailed on for top 4 and thought that Lampard would take time.
Yeah.
And now, if you're a Chelsea fan, you'd be gutted if they didn't finish top 4, the way that they've turned it around from the opening day. I think a lot was made of that opening day defeat, but I think the scoreline, that 4-0, I don't think that was a fair reflection of the game.
No, that's right, yeah.
So get involved anyway. Let us know what you think in the comments. Who do you think will be the top 4? And we'll discuss that throughout the show. And of course, at half-time as well, we will give you an exclusive interview with Freddie Ljungberg. Jeff Struve's caught up with Freddie Ljungberg. We'll give you that exclusive interview at half-time of the Football Social. Freddie Ljungberg taking caretaker charge following the sacking of Unai Emery. Paul, we will speak about that later on in the show as well. But as always, it is tradition on the Football Social to get a few bets in with our friends at Sky Bet. So this is what we have gone with. So Will Brazier, Burnley v Palace, has gone for a home win, Will. Paul Konchesky, he's gone for Chelsea to beat his former club, West Ham. Doogie has gone for Liverpool to beat Brighton, and I have gone for Spurs to beat Bournemouth.
All home wins.
All home wins, and it's 3-1 for that with our friends at Sky Bet. Don't forget, you must be 18 plus. Full terms and conditions apply. All odds are live and subject to change. For more information, go to skybet.com. Please bet responsibly. Right, moments away from kickoff. Will, what's going on? What's hotting up in your game?
Jack Stacey starting for Bournemouth. It'd be interesting to see if Stacey's mum's in the crowd watching on.
Good.
Thanks, mate.
Not your finest hour. Go on.
That's all right, that one. Not many Jack Stacey jokes about. But yeah, really looking forward to that Burnley Crystal Palace 6-pointer and to see if this Mourinho effect is still on or wearing off ever so slowly.
Yeah, OK, so Chelsea game is kicked off. Kicked off at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and at Burnley. So our final game to kick off is our feature game at Liverpool. Brighton kicking from left to right at Anfield. And all of our matches are underway, so get your questions involved.
Hugely exciting. Speaking of questions, we've had one from James Walker,
Great name.
who was asked, what do you think of Saint-Maximin at Newcastle? And as a secondary question, Paul, obviously playing as a left-back yourself, what is it like to deal with someone with extreme pace?
Ooh.
What are your sort of tactics? What do you do in that situation?
Tough question, to be fair. Depends who you've got in front of you. You maybe need help from your left midfielder, left winger. But if he's really, really quick, for me, you just show him one way, the way you want to race him, and it's a one-on-one race, really.
Yeah. Who did you find in your playing career offered you the most protection in front of you?
I had a couple really when I was at West Ham. Matthew Everton, we had a great link up.
He was good going forward as well.
He was. Hold on a minute.
Oh, chance.
Roberts.
Oh, no. Robertson blazing it over the bar. First chance for Liverpool with a minute on the clock. Go on, Paul. Sorry.
And when I was at Fulham, Clint Dempsey.
Yeah.
It
Clint
was
Dempsey.
unbelievable.
A good walk rate, wasn't it, Clint Dempsey?
Yeah. So it was a good one to have in front.
Yeah.
What about the quick on that line? I'm intrigued to know who was the quickest player you ever played against that you thought, oh no, I'm coming up against him today.
With the ball, the way he moves it, Ronaldo, Cristiano.
Just pick that name drop up. Yeah. All right, he played against Ronaldo. He played against Ronaldo.
I don't know if I was lucky or not, but he's just gone on and got better and better.
Yeah.
So, but he was an unbelievable player, and I'm not surprised what he's gone on to do.
And you said quickest with the ball then, so who's quickest without the ball? Are there players like a Walcott, a Lennon, or those sort of players?
Yeah, Lennon was a quick one.
Yeah.
Walcott, and to be fair, Freddie Ljungberg.
Yeah.
He was a quick winger, more without the ball rather than with it.
Yeah. Right, let's have a look at our feature game, Paul. Liverpool, I know it's only 2 minutes gone, but they are
really
dictating the game, aren't they?
Started really well. I think they've had 2 or 3 crosses in the box already.
Yeah.
Oh!
Salah.
Oh!
Chance, one of your games. Chance. Oh! Go on, Will, quickly, we'll go to you. Chance, one of your games, what happened?
Emerson down the left, ball across. Pedro's had a shot, but it's been blocked by Ogbonna. West Ham already under the cosh.
Do you think this is a must-win game or must-avoid defeat game for Pellegrini?
Just not
for his job.
Absolutely trounce, I think. If it's a 4-5-0, we could be seeing Pellegrini down the old job centre.
You think soon?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I think it's more the manner of the performance today, isn't it? They just want to see a bit of fight. Declan Rice coming under a little bit of scrutiny. Maybe he needs to
another cross.
Step up today, but yeah. It's gonna be
I think on West Ham, I've never seen like an injury have such a big effect. Just because.
What with the goalkeeper?
It's harsh to just put like one person's performances, but like Roberto, I think he'll say himself if he's on the show, not been performing to the right level. Particularly in that Burnley game, like he was pretty much threw one in the net, and I think when it really affects the confidence.
I hope he's not watching.
Really affects the confidence of your backline. I feel like that's really destabilised the entire team. I don't know whether, Paul, you've sort of noticed that in West Ham games, just playing with a severe lack of confidence throughout the side.
Yeah, they are. And like you say, it's a big...
Chance Liverpool.
Oh!
It's all Liverpool in your game, Paul, isn't it?
It's all Bournemouth over here, Smithy, as well.
Go on, Mo. Oh, great start at Anfield.
Brighton needs to get a grip of this game. Chance for Bournemouth. Will, what happened there?
Yeah, shot from the edge of the area. Gazzaniga didn't deal with it that well, and he's pushed it wide for a corner. So it's a Bournemouth corner.
We're not even... Let's go to Paul. Chance for Brighton. Oh! Little sniff. Is that at Anfield? I call that our half chance.
That is an half Brighton. I think Connolly got it from the halfway line, and he went a long way against Van Dijk there.
Is this their best chance on the counter attack? Because it has all been Liverpool, but straight down the counter. Is this Brighton's best chance?
Yeah, I think so. Because both fullbacks like to go forward, so you can get in behind them in that way.
And as we've seen, like Liverpool have very few weaknesses this year, but they actually haven't kept that many clean sheets.
No, they haven't.
I think it's about 4 in about 17 odd games in all competitions. So You know, if Brighton can get an early goal, then the pressure will start to ramp up. And we've seen Liverpool leaving it late in a lot of games, so they'll want to get this wrapped up as early as possible, really.
Tell you what, Smith,
It's dangerous.
Chance for... Oh!
Defending.
Right, lads, we've had a question in from Shadow Century. Welcome aboard, Shadow Century.
Interesting name.
They've asked, who do you think should manage Arsenal long term? It was only a matter of time before we got onto this.
Yeah.
Paul, what do you make of the current situation? Were you surprised by Emery's sacking?
No, not really.
Yeah.
I see Arsenal against Leicester this season, and it just didn't look like they was playing for the manager, if I'm honest. Like Smithy says, we don't like to see managers get the sack, but the players have to want to play for you.
It felt inevitable, didn't it?
Yeah, and I felt sorry for him on the touchline.
Do you know what I will say, even as a Spurs fan, is that he did carry himself with a lot of dignity and class. Like, even I read the statement. I know that you always get a statement out, but it was quite heartfelt. I always felt he carried himself well, and he spoke the language. And I do have a lot of sympathy for him. I don't have a bad word to say about him as a guy, and I don't think he was someone you could imagine. We're not in the Arsenal change room that would be hard to work under. Do you know what I mean by that? It just felt like he wasn't the right fit for Arsenal.
Yeah.
I think, some of the criticism of him became quite personal as well. I mean, he tried so hard to speak English. It's his third language. And to criticise him because he, says his V's like B's seemed a bit petty from, like, football Twitter. But what do you expect?
You're talking about good evening.
Good evening, exactly.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I thought it was pretty much inevitable at that stage. Like, they're on their worst run since 1992.
Yeah.
Things weren't improving, and it is a shame to see a manager go, but I think they've got a great opportunity with Ljungberg just to get some happiness back into the Emirates, because it's been pretty
So what do we think
dire
about
for a
Freddie
while.
Ljungberg? Because it's interesting, isn't it? It seems to be now with a lot of legends going back. That Giggs is at Wales. You've got Lampard at Chelsea, Ollie at Man United. There seems to be a real affinity for players that have had that playing aspect to a club or to a country that get given an opportunity. Freddie Ljungberg's got that. Do you see him, Paul, as just a caretaker, or do you think, like Ollie was originally, if he goes in and does a good job, he could potentially get it full time?
Yeah, on that, Smithy, I think an ex-player going back, been there a long while, so they know the Arsenal way or the club's way.
And that's important.
Yeah, they know what the fans like, and if we like it or not, the fans have a big say.
Yeah.
So having Freddie go back there, I think he'll try and bring the happiness back. Arsenal want to play, what the players need. You can never say never. If he goes in and does really well, then the board might just think, give him a chance.
Chelsea in here,
Chance for
Mason
Chelsea!
Mount!
Will talk us through that first big chance for Chelsea.
Yeah, it was lovely ball into Giroud, laying it off like he always does. Mason Mount bursting through, then a shot straight at the keeper. It'd be good for him, for Martin. His first start for West Ham. Sort of bobbled it, but he's kept it under wraps in the end, and it's still 0-0 at Stamford Bridge.
Mason Mount and Declan Rice, best friends, playing against each other, I believe, for the first time in the Premier League, I believe.
Wow.
How have they been getting on?
Well, Mount's playing that central role as well, so he's coming on late to balls. Obviously, with Giroud there, you're going to get the hold-up play, so he's run onto it nicely. And
Bournemouth Spurs is, I suppose, a half chance for Bournemouth. They seem to have started
honestly,
quite
mate,
well, Bournemouth.
I ain't just doing this to wind you up. It's been all Bournemouth. They've had.
Paul, before we get into it, every guest we've ever had sat on that sofa, any footballer's played any level, Will, within 4 minutes, will talk about his love for Birmingham City. So, do you want to get it out of the way, Will, about your beloved Birmingham?
I've had an hour already. Smithy.
I wasn't going to mention it, but it is the Gary Rowett derby down at St Andrews today. So, just hoping we can get one over Millwall. Which, Paul, you should back me in there hopefully today.
Yes, I totally agree.
Keep rolling.
Good, there we go. Seamless, linking it all together. So scores and doors, it is 0-0 in all of our 3 o'clock kickoffs. But there's worrying scenes at Turf Moor. Will, what's going on here? This looks quite nasty.
Yeah, I think it's Ben Mee. He's tried to head the ball, but he's ended up heading the back of Ayew's head, which is not the best technique.
So no intent from Ayew, it's completely accidental.
No, it's
firstly.
just a bit more gormless from me than anything. He's gone down, but he looks all right. Done the old protocol.
Do you
and
think he'll carry on?
Yeah, hopefully.
He does look a bit dazed, doesn't he?
He's a weird waddle away from the scene.
Yeah, maybe.
Hopefully he's all right. He's a tough man, Ben.
I think that's just the way he walks.
I feel like anyone who's ever played for Burnley is a tough man. I feel like you have to have that in Burnley to play for Burnley.
Yeah, it's in the interview. We've had another question in.
Go on.
Vincent DC. I suppose, Smithy, you better take this. Will Aurier stay?
Oh, crumbs!
Oh, go on, what happened?
Go on, Will.
I think it was Rico, the left back, from about 35 yards, fired one at Gazaniga, and then it was wobbling and shaking in the air, and he's just about dealt with it and popped it out. But it is all Bournemouth at this fine stadium that you've built.
Yeah,
Like it.
okay,
Right, back
so-
to the question. Will Aurier stay in this amazing form under Mourinho after a goal and 2 assists in his last 2 games? Have you seen a bit of a
I have.
turnaround?
Do you know what's interesting, Doug, is that I've seen a bit of a turnaround in the shape and the way that Tottenham play. I don't think Jose will chop and change the team that much because I think he'll take cup competitions very serious. I think Jose will go in and look at the FA Cup this year and the League Cup next year and think there's real opportunity for silverware. And then he can be, well, I was the first manager in 11 years to win Spurs silverware. So I think he will play a strong team in the cup competitions. There's a few players, Serge is one, Dele is another, that I think we will see an improvement of under Jose Mourinho. Because it's interesting how he hasn't played it today, but he's playing Dele as a 10, almost like a box-to-box 10. Now, under Poch, they used to like to play, particularly last season, Son, Eriksson and Dele, whereas I think Mourinho is going to play Dele in the central role with Moore and Son to use that pace. So I think the positional play that we've seen with Dele Alli this season, and only the 2 games, I think he's had a complete turnaround under Jose. I think he will be a player that does improve his game. But it's going to be tough to see. Being brutally honest, I do think the right-back area, as well as Aurier has played under Jose, is an area Spurs will look to strengthen in Jan. They sold Trippier and didn't replace him. And even if Aurier gets injured, we don't have another out-and-out.
Oh, the little man's
Yeah,
like
exactly,
that.
because Van Voort's normally a centre-back, but can't
Carl
play on the
Walker-Peters
right.
can play there, Eric
Yeah.
Dyer can play there, but I think that will be an area that they'll look to strengthen. Chance in the Anfield Liverpool game? Paul, what happened?
No, I thought one-on-one there, the young lad Connolly knocked it past Lovren, but he's tripped him just near the edge of the box, so free kick to Liverpool.
Free kick to Liverpool. Jose pacing up and down the touchline. What do you make of his body language? He doesn't look as happy as he did in pre-match, Will, does he?
I mean, I think it's ultimate Jose, isn't it? He's a character of 2 halves. You're always smiling, then it's straight into game mode, isn't it?
Very much so.
Professional.
Dougie, let's go back to social corner.
Yeah, Billy
What have
Rhines asked, what are Liverpool's weaknesses, if any? Paul, do you think they've got any clear areas of improvement? I mean, it's difficult to say that having had the best Premier League start in history, but
If you watch him at the moment, you wouldn't expect so. On Salah.
Go
Chance
on,
for Salah. Oh, side netting.
Good run though.
It's the first chance in a little while for them now. Brighton have come right back into it. But yeah, I think you look at Liverpool's starting 11 plus. They've got 5 or 6 subs they can use. It doesn't weaken their team for me at the moment. So they've got a great squad and January's round the corner, so they might add 1 or 2. You never know.
No, I think it'll be interesting. I think the possible outgoing is probably Shaqiri. Apparently, he's quite unhappy with his amount of game time.
Not played much, has he?
Not played much at all, and it feels like Origi's become the sort of 4th choice of the front 3,
Yeah.
and obviously Ox started in the front 3 last week as well. So it feels like Shaqiri's very much out of favour, and I think he might angle for a move away. But I'm kind of with you. I think their starting 11's as close to complete as you can get in world football. So.
Funny sound effect from Will Brazen.
How?
Many times this season, what happened, Will, in one of your games?
Spurs had their first attack, Harry Kane getting stopped in the penalty box, and a little bit of a worry for Crystal Palace. Obviously, defensively, Scott Dan's come in. He went down with an ankle injury, but he's back up, obviously replacing Gary Cahill today. But he's all good.
Okay.
Shaking it off.
Interestingly, Paul just told us about that half chance for Mo Salah. And speaking about Mo Salah, the opening goal in the last 3 meetings between Liverpool and Brighton in the Premier League has been scored by Liverpool's Mohamed Salah. And on that, Salah's last hat-trick came in the 4-0 Premier League win at Bournemouth last December. And Salah is a 20-1 price boost to score a hat-trick today. It was 16-1. It's now 20-1 you can get on Salah to score a hat-trick. Don't forget, you must be 18 plus, full terms and conditions apply. Bet
responsibly.
Well done, Will Brazen. So Mo Salah.
The man to watch today.
20-1.
So I put him in my fantasy team today.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you? The big
I'm
move.
curses.
Need
Good
it
feelings,
today.
good feelings.
I've got feet. I've got my waters.
We haven't got your score prediction, Will. You like a 3-3. Will always goes with a 3-3 in any game we ask
Just
him.
to see some goals?
Just
or?
to see some goals.
Just love the content, Paul, myself. But I don't
Are
think
you going 3-3 in the Liverpool game? That'd be a brave scoreline, wouldn't it?
it would be a brave scoreline, and I'm not feeling very brave today. I think it'd be 4-0
Oh,
to
Jurgen
Liverpool.
looks a bit cold out there today.
He does, doesn't
It's unlike him.
he? He does look cold.
Yeah, I feel like this is the month that City really need to strike, and that start against, dropping points against Newcastle, because Liverpool, this is their first of 12 games in 36 days.
Yeah.
And so this month, with Fabinho out, feels crucial. If Liverpool get through with a 10, 11 point gap into January, I think it could be title gone.
12 games in 36 days.
However, their run of fixtures in the Premier League within that is quite
favourable,
nice. Yeah. But it's
But
still
it's
a
the
lot
Club
of
World
football.
Cup, and there's the Carabao Cup as well coming in.
Paul, what did you make as a player, former player, of the situation with the Carabao Cup and the Club World Cup? So Liverpool are going to effectively take two squads to that because it's the day after.
Yeah.
What did you make of that? And how if you were a player, because obviously if you're...
You want to play in every game, don't you?
But what do you want to play in? And
yeah,
if you're put in the Carabao Cup, are you thinking I'm not part of the first team plans? Are there mind games that could affect the rest of the season in that? Or how do you sort of think about that situation?
I don't know. I think nowadays, for these big clubs, they've got two great squads. So
Fine.
you know if you're going to be involved in one of them games, you're happy.
Yeah.
I don't,
Oh, chance!
great save!
Paul, big chance for
What a
Liverpool.
save.
Talk us through that. Firmino with the chance.
Unbelievable. He's got it out of his feet. Got his shot off really quick, so it was a difficult save for the keeper, but he got down really well and palmed it away.
Smart save.
nice.
It came in at quite a lot of pace.
So 15 minutes gone, it's still goalless in all four of our games. Chelsea with
Oh!
a chance. Oh!
What a ball that is.
Any signs from West Ham in this? A lot of West Ham fans watching the stream and want to know how they're playing. Will, any signs of positivity
They're solid.
bearing on the run that they've been on?
Yeah, they're solid. Martin's not had a lot to do, and they did have a half a chance. Cresswell from deep, knock it in, and Antonio just putting it over the bar. Spurs go close, but nothing to be worried about. I just think they'll be happy they haven't conceded so far. Well, I mean, Paul's a West Ham. Are you happy, Paul, you haven't conceded?
Yeah, I think you try and get into the game, and the first 10, 15 minutes very important.
Yeah.
But like you say, they've kept it nice and shut. So hopefully they can build on that now.
When you go to play at a ground like Stamford Bridge, how long does it take for those pre-match nerves to calm down? Is it you have your first touch? Is it do you do your first pass and then you feel like I'm in the game now? Or can it sometimes take a bit longer?
I think. Hold on a minute.
Oh,
He's in.
Brighton's in.
Boys
Chance for Brighton.
Connolly.
Oh!
Oh, it's a free kick, I think.
I think every player's different. For me, it was used to be. As soon as I've had my first touch, it's just another game.
Yeah. You slowly slip back into it.
Yeah, of course, and obviously at West Ham today, there's going to be a few nervous players, so they've got to take each one as it comes.
Definitely, they'll know the fans are right on their back. I mean, especially when you're playing for a manager. He's supposedly very popular around West Ham as well. I don't know, from what I've read anyway. So they won't want to see him go from what I've heard anyway.
Good tackle.
On the topic of
You
West
think that's a good
Ham-
tackle, Paul, didn't you? You don't think that's a free kick?
I didn't know.
Brighton fans, Brighton players are not happy with that.
No.
Is that just
see
because
it,
of the
we'll
angle
see
he's
it.
coming to? Here's the tackle.
I think he's got the ball.
He's got the
he's got the
ball. I think
ball.
that's fine.
I think that's a good tackle.
Oh,
Good save.
the Ox goes down. It is a free kick for Liverpool. Dangerous position, this edge of the area.
Oh, Bournemouth are in. Ball
chance
in.
for Bournemouth.
All over Spurs.
Save.
save.
Well done, Matt Ryan.
Well played from Mane.
Yeah.
Good save from Ryan.
What a
That
save.
Getting down
Mane's
low.
really been crucial this year, hasn't he? Late goals against Crystal Palace,
through
late goals
legs.
against Villa as well. Feels like
save.
with Salah being, spending a bit of time on the injury table and a bit of time out, Mane's really stepped up
Yeah.
as the main man at Liverpool this season. He's been
I think of the
phenomenal.
front three, he's the one I think that. The thing is, it's tough because whenever you say he's my favourite, it doesn't mean you don't rate the other two players. They're all clearly great players. But I think.
Hold on.
Chance Liverpool!
Go!
Kaczewski!
It's a goal!
Is that Salah that took the free kick?
Big goal for
No.
Liverpool, 1-0. Virgil van Dijk.
Great free kick.
Talk us through it, Paul
Mane.
Kaczewski.
Think about it as his
Just leaps above and heads it in.
nice looping header as well.
Simple header from
Yeah.
Van Dijk.
But I think it comes from the cross.
Oh, Smithy.
We'll go to a chance for Tottenham in a minute. We'll go to Will in a minute. Here's the
Here's
replay,
goal.
Paul.
Arnold.
Lovely.
What a header.
Whips it in, floated into the
As a
back
former
stick.
defender yourself, anything you could critique from the defenders, or is that just simply a great goal, great cross, nothing you can do about
It's
it?
a great ball. All you can do is try and get close to your man and jump
Yeah.
against him, which
Look at that towering header. Van
he's a
Dijk.
big centre half. And
Back
he's-
of the net.
He's just headed it, powered it over.
And if Liverpool win this with the Man City result, it's a big step, isn't it?
11
Big,
points.
big step in the title race.
Could go to 11, and them fans now will be edging them on even more now.
Another assist for Trent Alexander-Arnold. Those fullbacks on absolute fire at the minute. A chance for Spurs, Will. What happened?
Yes, it was Harry Kane dropping deep like he's been doing all season in this new role, and he played a fantastic ball to Heung-min Son, who just put it past the post. Chelsea are in. Everton ball across. Ogbonna. He has been an absolute man mountain so far. Pedro had a shot earlier, which Ogbonna threw his body on the line, and it went out for a corner, so it's still goalless in all the games I'm watching. And if it stays like that for 90 minutes, I may need a coffee.
You can get a coffee whenever you want, Will. Liverpool on the attack again. Paul, let's go to you here.
Oh, clever.
That is lovely.
Clever from Mane. I think it was Firmino at the...
Mane dink over. Here you go, let's have a replay of this, Paul. Here it comes.
Oh, it's nice that, isn't it?
Back six.
That's a good save again, isn't
It
it?
is, yeah. I think he could go across the goalie there.
Matt Ryan's done well. So Mane with a flick up. Firmino with a half chance. Dinks it. Matt Ryan pushes it behind for the corner. Liverpool take it. And it is all Liverpool.
This is, I'm obviously watching I'm watching all the screens, but mainly because this one is
Here we go. Hold on.
Chelsea are in. Pulisic!
Save!
Another chance.
Another
He's
great
been their best
save.
player, hasn't he? Matt Ryan.
Unbelievable.
Big save from Matt Ryan in the sticks from Brighton, keeping Brighton in this. Paul, are you surprised how open Brighton are playing? Considering they're going to Anfield, do you think they would try and set up a little bit more defensively in this game?
I did. Then they got themselves back into the game early. They had a couple of chances. I think they've gone like they're playing at home. They think they can attack and get something out of it. But
Goal!
Come on, you Spurs! 1-0 Tottenham. Get in there. I missed it.
But which
Will,
way's it
talk
gone?
to me about it in all your glory.
Yes, it's Dele Alli.
What did I say?
He loves Jose as much as Smithy does. Another high five to the ball boy.
It's the same ball boy.
What's going on?
Ball boy.
Is it a conspiracy? I don't know. I'm just looking at the goal now. They've worked it from the back, and it's just a long ball over the back four. And Dele Alli gets it from Heung-min Son.
Lovely touch from Heung-min Son.
And it's 1-0 to Spurs.
There we go. Is there any VAR on this, do you think? We haven't seen that replay. Obviously, every goal will be looked at by VAR. Son plays it across to Dele.
Do you think he means that?
Oh, at the post at Chelsea.
OK, we'll come to it in a bit, but let's keep talking about Tottenham because they're 1-0. There is the high five, the fist pump
To the
to
ball boy.
Callum, I believe his name is the ball boy.
It looked like a different ball boy, Smithy, if I am being critical there in the
There's
analysis.
just so many good ball boys at Tottenham, we don't know who is who.
Fantastic academy of ball boys
But the goal
there.
does stand, of course, it is 1-0 Dele. I don't even know if there was a debate of offside, but I just am petrified. Whenever a goal goes in, the VAR might come into play. 1-0 Tottenham, Dele Alli with the goal.
I'm sorry to ruin the mood, but I don't know whether Son meant that as a pass. To be honest. I don't know whether he's trying to control that. I don't know.
Oh!
Big chance, Will, what happened?
I think it is Kurt Zouma ball, left hand swinging in from the corner. Pulisic worked something out of nothing to get it, and he's risen first, and he should do a little bit better. He's just caught a nick on it, and it's gone out for a goal kick to West Ham.
It is always a good sign when Dele Alli scores for Spurs because he scores.
Oh!
Paul, let's go to you before I do the stat. What happened?
across the goal. Great ball in from Moya, I think, for Brighton, and Dyke swung at it and could have been an own goal.
Here's the replay. Cross comes in from the right. It's a lovely ball in this, isn't it?
Oh, he's just swiped.
Oh, he gets lucky there.
Virgil van Dijk swipes and it goes behind. I think
Just
actually for a throw-in, but it's does not know much about that. And as I was saying, it's a good sign for Tottenham whenever Dele Alli scores because prior to this, he's scored in 39 different Premier League games and has never been on the losing side when he has scored, winning 31. Only James Milner and Darius Vassell have scored in more without losing, and Tottenham have a fantastic record against Bournemouth. Love playing against Bournemouth. Have a 100% winning record at home to Bournemouth. 4 wins out of 4, scored 13, conceded none. Tottenham won 5-0 in this fixture last season, so they have a very good record against Bournemouth. However, the last time the sides met, Bournemouth did win 1-0 at Dean Court last season. And of course, that was the game. 2 players were sent off, Heung-min Son and Juan Foyth.
Juan Foyth.
Yeah, a lot of problems with Spurs that day. You can say that was only 1/4 of the problems that we had. Thank you, Will.
Lads, we've had a question in from Nathan Harries.
Go on.
Very specific to one player in particular. What do we think of Mason Mount's emergence this year, Paul? Have you been impressed with him?
Very.
Nice one, West Ham.
With Jody and Frank going back to Chelsea, they obviously Jody's had him for a long time in the youth setup, so they knew.
Oh, what a save!
Big chance for West Ham. Sorry, Paul, come back to you in a minute. Talk us through this big save at Stamford Bridge, Will.
Goal at Anfield!
Oh!
Van Dijk again!
That's your game, Paul. That's your game.
2-0.
We'll talk about the stat after we've spoken to you about the chance for West Ham and the goal for Spurs, but first we'll go to the goal for Liverpool, which makes it 2-0. Paul, what happened at Anfield? Big goal.
Massive goal. It's the same routine, another set play. And the big man's come over and headed another one in.
Here comes the replay. We're just looking at fans applauding in the Kop end.
The set plays are dangerous for Liverpool right now. Like you say, the two full-backs. Unbelievable. What an header.
Same combination, Paul. Trent Alexander-Arnold whipping it in. Virgil
Oh,
van Dijk.
Spurs!
So it's 2-0 Liverpool. Alexander-Arnold with 2 assists. Van Dijk with 2 goals.
What a goal.
Another half chance for Tottenham, but talk about this big chance for West Ham, Will. Quickly.
Yes, Snodgrass playing right wing. He's only going to do one thing, cut in on his left, and he puts a fantastic ball onto Antonio, who arrives late. He's about 6 yards out, and it's a fantastic save from Kepa.
Chance for Harry Kane, Will Brazier.
And Ramsdale has made an amazing save down at the Tottenham Spurs Stadium. Harry Kane going down to the near post, but Ramsdale making himself big, and they've got a corner. It's going to be whipped.
Let's stay with Will for the corner for Tottenham Hotspur.
Man of the moment, Serge Aurier.
I don't think that's Serge Aurier.
No, is it not?
Anyway,
It was.
That's
Chance
From
for
Sissoko. Oh, lovely
moves
quick
there.
turn.
Moves
Oh, Sanchez has scored. I think it must be his first one of the season. It was a lovely work.
Get
corner.
in there. Come on, you Spurs.
What a work from Sissoko in the build-up as well. That cut
Big
onto
work
his
from
left.
Tottenham. Will this go to VR? Will you have a look at it for offside?
I don't know. It's one of them ones where they'll be checking it. Looks like the second phase of play.
It's Davinson Sanchez with the ball in the back of the net. Talk us through the goal. Will, we're about to see a replay, and if there's any VAR debate on this,
Just getting
what
it
do
in
you
my
think,
ear.
Paul?
I think the defenders were still on the line, waiting to get rid of it. Look at the lad on the line, Jack Stacey,
Look at this
Stacey's
from
mum.
Sissoko.
Yeah,
There
no,
we
you're
go.
fine.
Bam.
Clearly in.
You're fine. You're fine.
It's a good finish
Lovely.
from a defender,
Great
that,
finish.
isn't it?
Great
Lovely
finish.
Wow, Spurs.
So Sissoko with the chance, ricocheted.
Sky Bet were actually offering 60 to 1
Oh,
for
what a
Sissoko to
finish.
do a Cruyff turn.
Were
Nobody
they?
picked up on that. Fantastic offer for a fantastic player.
So the title's going to Liverpool and Mourinho is back.
There we go. That is the headline.
That's
Liverpool
it.
in again here.
Come on. Oh, it's all go on the football social. Let's just confirm the scores on the doors. Liverpool 2, Brighton 0. 2 big goals in the title race for Liverpool following Man City's 2-2 draw at St James's Park. It's currently Chelsea 0, West Ham 0 in our other game. Spurs 2-0 up thanks to goals from Dele Alli and Davinson Sanchez. And it is 0-0 Burnley versus Crystal Palace. And I feel we haven't given Burnley and Crystal Palace any airtime. So how have all 22 players been playing in that game, Will?
Yeah, we'll start from the back. Obviously, Nick Pope's doing great. Number 2, Phil Bardsley, 6 out of 10. But Scott Dan did go down again injured. Obviously, coming in for Gary Cahill. He's had 2 knocks. So the big man's taking a bit of a battering today.
We can give you a price base now. Price boost, sorry. Virgil van Dijk score a hat-trick. Don't forget, he's already got 2. Paul was 6 to 1. You can get 7 to 1 on that with Sky Bet. Don't forget, you must be 18 plus. Full terms and conditions apply. And the way that Liverpool are playing, you would not bet against that. But if you do bet against that, bet responsibly. Doogie,
Who's
back
up
to
for
you.
a question?
Go
Got
on,
a
let's go
banger.
to you.
One question, please.
J6 says Dele Alli has been on fire with Jose. Couldn't
has.
agree more, J6. But I wanted to ask Paul, as a player, when you have been slightly out of form, what did you find helped you? It seems simple, but what was the triggers to get it back? Is it just a matter of playing? Is it changing, working behind the scenes? How does it work?
Paul Konchesky out of form?
I mean, he's never been out
I
of
don't
form.
remember the day.
Can you imagine?
You're obviously going on talking about Delhi.
Just 1-0.
Love that.
Especially for someone like himself, he's got a new manager's come in. He's obviously managed him really well through the week, and he's probably he can score goals, so he just looks confident, and
And he's back playing in that role as well. I think
he's
that's
playing in a
crucial.
free role.
Breaking news, I have to interrupt you. Will Brady, who's got 1 job on the football social. I did say, has it gone to VAR? You said, no, absolutely fine, 17 minutes ago. It's been disallowed. Tell us what happened and why.
That's how long VAR takes these days, Smithy. It's an
Unbelievable.
absolute joke at Stockley Park. Just been getting it in my ear. It's a handball from Davinson Sanchez. Clear as day. I don't know how anybody missed that. And it's been given off for handball, and it's
What do you
still
think of that,
1-0.
Paul? It's hard to tell on that angle we saw, isn't
It
it?
was hard. It looked harsh if he's given a blatant handball for that.
It did hit his arm apparently, and obviously the new rules that come into play that if it does strike your arm in the build-up,
It's a free kick off.
then it is disallowed. So letter of the law would suggest that it is the right decision, but yeah, disappointed.
Sorry, mate. I've just got no sound. I'm just trying to. There's 4 games going on.
I know,
here.
there's 4 games
VAR really doesn't
You're a
help.
busy
does it?
man, Will. Don't
You're a
beat
busy
yourself
man,
up.
Will.
I should have done better. I'm sorry.
Guys, we've got another question from /tag27. Is Trent the best right back in the world? Paul, as a you know your fullbacks inside out, is he number 1?
At the moment, yeah. You want your fullbacks to defend first and foremost, but to go and make goals and assists, and I think he's. I couldn't tell you how many he's had this year, but
Countless, yeah.
even the both of them have.
He's had 5 assists already this season.
Yeah, and I think
Alexander-Arnold.
last year, both of them, the left and the right back, I think they got over double
40,
figures each.
14
yeah.
and 11.
Incredible.
So.
But that's an interesting point you make, because before you went on to talk about his goals and assists, you said as a fullback, defence is your first objective or your first job, so to speak. That was the role of a fullback many years ago. It's changed dramatically now.
Yeah, massively.
The only critique, which I think is a bit harsh, people say that he's better going forward than defensively, Trent. Can you see that he would ever move position because he is so good going forward?
Hold on, I need to put another one in here.
Or do you see him as an out-and-out?
I think Liverpool played him in the free midfield in the week, and then away with England, I think Southgate put him in. But I like him as a fullback, maybe a wing-back one day. But for me, he's good going forward, so I'd like to keep him out there and
Keep him where he is.
With the crosses he can play and his passes he can play. He's
Since the start of last season, Paul, he's got the joint most assists in the Premier League as a right-back. That's amazing. It's 17, I believe, equal with Ryan Fraser. I mean, that's incredible, that stat alone,
Just incredible. And you feel like he could move forward into mid. I mean, he didn't start as a right back, and like he basically plays as like the similar to De Bruyne role, but from right back. And his whip balls to Andy Robertson. He nearly got actually in trouble with one of them last weekend against Crystal Palace when he did a no-look pass to Robertson. And I don't think he's probably as complete as Robertson on the other flank in terms of his all-round game. But for what is he, 20? It's so exciting for Liverpool and it's so exciting for England. I think our fullback depth is just phenomenal.
It's very true, that. Who is your favourite, as a former fullback yourself, Paul, who's your favourite fullback in the Premier League? Like, who do you look at in terms of their all-round game?
Bournemouth.
I think he's number one.
Bournemouth.
For me, I'd probably go for Robertson.
Would you?
Obviously a left back, but I like the way he does defend because he can defend, and obviously the way he attacks and he can cross the ball on the move.
And on assist as well, another player that gets bags of assists.
For me, he can defend as well. If he has to defend one-on-one, I think he's an hard one to get past.
And what have you made of the emergence of Ben Chilwell, particularly in the last 18 months? He looks like just ready-made for this level.
Yeah, he's got a great attitude. He's probably a bit like Robertson. He can attack, and you can see that now. He's playing full of confidence at Leicester at the moment, and he's growing in stature every time he plays. So, like I said earlier, if you're winning and playing well, your confidence is high. So, at the moment, he's playing with no fear.
Yeah, and he's on a great run of form with England as well.
Pereira, I think.
Pereira, class.
Top player.
What?
Absolutely awesome.
So interestingly, very. Chance for Spurs? No, it's not. So, of all the Sky Sports do a power ranking system where they rate every player. I sound like such a square here, but I love my stats. Where they look at every player, and there's 35 metrics on every single player in the Premier League to play. And of all the players this season, statistically, the best performing player in the Premier League so far is Pereira.
Really?
Yeah.
Well done,
That's how good this season's had. I did sound like a bit of a square saying that, though, didn't I? Well, but I do love my stats.
No,
so
I think it's good.
One thing you'll never be to me, Smithy, is a square.
Thank you very much.
I think that's Leicester as well.
Good point. And on that, actually, a lot of
manager.
Leicester players are up there with that. Yeah. But he's a fantastic player. Will, your games as well. So just confirm what's happened. We've had a chance for Bournemouth, a disallowed goal. Just wrap up the last few minutes while we were chatting about Liverpool.
Yeah, so obviously it's 1-0 still at Spurs. They're still pressing. It's still 0-0 Chelsea-West Ham, and Burnley went very close. They were working the ball lovely. Ashley Barnes had one touch and then he second took it away from him when he could have had a shot, but it's still 0-0 there.
Let's talk West Ham, because I know that Paul is watching Liverpool, but I can see he's got one eye on the West Ham game. How have they played? Because it doesn't look like Chelsea have created loads in this game. Better performance so far?
You saw it as well as me. I think they've had the best gilt-edged chance, and Antonio put it right at the keeper. It was still a good save because it came at him quick, but they have had the best chance. But they've defended resolutely as well. I've Bonner throwing his body on the line, and the young lad Martin's not had a lot to do, which he'll be pleased with as a keeper on his first start.
Lads, do you want another question?
Go on, let's go for it. Social corner.
This one comes from Wildo48. Be careful, Wildo. You're getting in dangerous territory there. Will Jose sell Ericsson? What do you reckon, Smithy? Is there a way that Ericsson can come back into the fold?
I've got to be honest. I do think that Jose will have a positive impact in a lot of players committing to the club. However, I do think he is the one player that is resigned to leaving Tottenham regardless of who comes in. His quotes are very strong at the start of the season. Done a lot for Tottenham. Been
And
in
you'd
and
want
in and
a
out of
fee
the
rather
team.
than losing for free.
Correct. I
next
definitely
year.
want a
is
fee
that?
rather than lose him. His contract is up in the summer, so the only way
right.
Spurs would get a fee is if he went in
January.
January. I think he will go. I also think we have got, as great as he's been for Spurs, the three that play in behind the one, there is a lot of options for Tottenham in that position. Son, Mora, Dele, Lamela, Lo Celso. I know Sessegnon might play further back, but he can play further forward. So I do feel like that is an area Spurs do have strength and depth. And looking at the quotes that he's come out with, I do feel like he'll go. But I think a lot of other players he might stay, because don't forget Toby Alderweireld and Danny Rose, two players that have been rumoured to be towards the end of their Spurs career, two players that Jose tried to sign for Man United. So I think there's players who'll have a positive effect on, but I think Eriksen is the one player that will go regardless of who comes in.
Yeah, it just makes financial sense really as well.
So with that, Smithy,
Go on.
You think Levy's been clever bringing Mourinho in there with them players maybe wanting to go before they knew about the manager liked them at Man United?
Yeah, it's a good question actually.
Has
a
Levy
very
thought
good point.
about that? Or?
I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, I don't think that would have been in his mindset to sack Poch. I don't think. I think it would just be about results. But I certainly think that might have been a contributing factor. I mean, I clearly think that it was only 11 hours difference between Pochettino going and Jose signing. I don't think they'd have made initial contact in 11 hours and got it done. So I think it was probably on the cards. But I don't know whether that was. I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know whether that was part of it, because I think contracts.
Brighton are in here.
Chance for Brighton. Come on, Paul. What happened there? I missed that.
Gross.
I think that's proper.
Proper, yeah. I think he got the ball on 25 yards out. Brings in
great,
Arnold.
mate.
Nice touch.
Great effort. First shot, really, Brighton have had. But they keep playing the way they are playing, home
Decent
or away.
strike.
So
They do. They stick to their way they play, don't they?
Yeah.
obviously they're getting overrun a little bit by
Yeah.
Liverpool, but they're still playing it from the back and trying to play their way they know how to play.
And they've got a corner here. Need to get something out of this if they've got any chance of getting back in the game.
It's been quite an interesting week for Brighton with them giving in Graham Potter a new 5-year contract.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
What
yeah.
do you think of that, Paul? Because he's only.
Oh, chance for
Hold on,
Brighton! Oh, big chance!
He
Lewis
must have
Dunk.
thought he was offside,
I
surely.
don't
How has he
think
missed
Dunk was
that?
offside. I think
The
there
guy
were other
in front of
players
him was,
onside.
yeah.
The ball whipped in. Dunk was about 4 yards out and tapped it just wide. Liverpool
And now
straight
Liverpool
down the other
attack.
end.
Oy.
That's a chance. As a so-called, no disrespect to Brighton, but as a team that go in
That's a great
as an
chance.
underdog,
That is a
team
great
you've got
chance.
a chance, you've got to
You
take
have
it.
to, yeah.
I wonder if we'll see a
Sorry, you were
replay.
saying about Graham Potter getting his new contract.
Here we go. So talk us through this, Paul. I think he's onside.
He's onside. He's onside.
Oh!
He has to score.
I don't think whoever's coming back onside from an offside position really helps. He runs right in front of it.
No, yeah.
He does,
not
but I think he has to score.
Oh, he hits off his
He
knee.
hasn't connected.
And it goes narrowly wide.
It's a shocker. Oh, poor Dunk. Player you don't want in that area, really.
He can finish, to be fair.
Yeah,
I've seen
I mean,
him
he can,
score a
but-
couple of good
yeah.
goals.
Yeah, true.
So big chance for Brighton, but it does remain Liverpool 2, Brighton 0. Just a reminder, if you're joining us on the stream, Spurs have had the ball in the net twice, but only one was allowed. Dele Alli's goal. Davinson Sanchez ruled out. I repeat, Davinson Sanchez ruled out. Will Brazier.
Give me 4 sounds and I'll give you an answer.
Burnley Palace is still 0-0.
Yeah, Charlie Taylor's just gone off injured. Obviously, I put him in my fantasy team this morning. He's come off after 25 minutes.
Not
So,
much luck with your fantasy team, will I?
no, and Crystal Palace are in. Van Arn out down the left-hand side.
What's going on? Goal!
Hey, surely offside
That
though.
must be offside.
Will, tell us what's going on. You've got the ball in the back of the
offside.
net.
It was like a pinball machine, if the kids still use them, which I don't, but I'd like one in my house, but it's been given offside. Jordan, Ayew eventually put the ball in the back of the net. I think the linesman kept his flag down, so we will check it on VAR, but it looked like one of them was... I couldn't
It was
tell
a
you
bit
which
of a
one.
mess, to be honest.
Chance for Spurs. Oh.
I mean, I think it's Coyote at the back post. How he's not put it in here. I mean, that's he's off.
For you.
Yep, I love my VAR and I'm always on top of it, and that one is definitely going to be disallowed.
And they are looking at it now because the linesman flag went up.
Another
chance
chance
for
for
Brighton.
Brighton. It's oh!
Paul, what is going on at Anfield? Nervous 5 minutes for
It's
Liverpool.
another great ball from the right. It looked like from there, but Arnold put it in his own net. But what a clearance!
And Brighton just showing signs that they're not out of this game yet.
No, I think they're sticking to what they've come to do, and
Yeah.
they're playing the way they are. So they're going to create chances.
I think they're
Go on, back
just.
to you, Will.
I think they're just checking if it was Van Arnholt that put the ball back in.
So just to confirm, there's a VAR check going on for that goal at Turf Moor. Burnley had the ball in the back of the net.
Sissoko's absolutely
Chance for
striding
Tottenham.
his way through there. Ball to Dele Alli. Handball! Handball!
Handball!
Referee.
Brighton again.
Tottenham are claiming for handball.
Steve Cook doing the instant classic where it's hit his
clever
hand.
thing when it's hit his hand and he's holding his chest. A goal check is going on at Burnley.
Free kick, offside. Day one I said it was offside, Smith. Decision,
Ball,
no
penalty
goal.
shout for Tottenham. What do you make of this?
Oh!
Is it a penalty for you?
Yes, that's a pen.
Right, VAR looking at it. The ball has clearly hit Steve
It's a
Cook's
penalty.
hand.
Let's have a
Penalty for you, Paul Konchesky.
For me, that's the penalty.
Steve Cook holds his hand. Dele Alli brings the ball across. It hits Steve Cook in his hand. Surely the ref is going to give a penalty for this.
Steve
It
Cook.
hasn't been given. Oh,
Calm down. Steve
not
Cook
given
did
that?
do 2 coughs afterwards to
Spurs,
symbolise.
VAR is not Tottenham's
There's
friend
that
today.
chance at Anfield there. Brighton, great.
Connolly
great
just
defending.
missed it.
Can't breathe.
Oh, big moment in the game.
It's all-
that.
it's all
Tottenham
happening.
Fans surely thinking that the ref would point to the spot there. But again, just to go over that, if it's the clear and obvious thing, the ref didn't give it, the penalty's not been given.
That's like it was a
The ref had
goalkeeper
a
save
very,
from
very
Steve
good
Cook.
view of it.
Very disappointing, that one. Lads, we've had a question in from Cormac Eats Popcorn.
So it's some great names.
Yeah,
on
I
the
know,
stream
they're
today.
phenomenal. Keep them coming in the comment section of both Soccer AM and Football Daily's YouTube streams. This one, Cormac Eats Popcorn. Who's been the player of the year so far for you
Ooh.
guys?
Player of the
year?
Or
Player of the season, sorry. The
should we say?
1920 season.
1920
got to be
In the
Vardy.
Premier League.
I would say Jamie Vardy.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Top goal scorer, got Leicester into the, well, not necessarily the title mix, but, you know,
No,
higher
so-
than they've been
I
in
think he's in
recent
the
years.
form of his life at the moment.
Do
ain't
you? Yeah.
he? I know when they won the league, he went on an unbelievable run, but I think his all-round game at the moment is probably the best he's been at.
I feel like he just loves playing with the, you know, the amazing talents they've got in that squad as well, like Maddison, Tielemans, Ayuso Perez is even playing very well, even though I'm not totally sure I put him on the same level. Like, there's such a feel-good feeling around Leicester at the moment, and they're dealing with teams below them so easily these days as well.
Such a shame that we can't have him as part of the England setup, though, isn't it, Vardy?
Yeah, do you think this, I mean, retiring from international duties obviously helped his Leicester form considerably because he's top goal scorer in the Premier League, but do you feel like he retired a bit early, Paul, for you? Or do you look at it and go, good decision because he's top scorer?
It's probably an hard one.
Yeah, tough one.
When he was going away, wasn't really playing a lot for England.
True.
When he did play, didn't play in his position he wanted to play with Harry Kane.
Oh!
So he's probably looked at that and thought, if I'm not going to play where I want to play,
yeah, yeah. Do you think if he was starting for him, it'd be a different
I think so,
situation?
yeah. I'd love to see him come out of retirement at the moment and play.
Yeah.
I think he could play alongside Harry Kane if I'm
And he's a
I'm
great
honest.
option if something's going wrong, if Kane picks up an
exactly.
injury. He's a great option off the bench because of his pace, isn't
Yeah,
he?
exactly. Tired defences, final 10 minutes.
I
Great.
was quite gutted actually when he retired for England because I always felt they had more to offer England.
If he's top scorer of the Premier League and we're going into the Euros,
Give him a call.
You've got to. He's surely, like, for the summer.
Good player. I think underappreciated. Jamie
Well, it's
Vardy
not
as
like
well.
we're short of options there as well, like Tammy Abraham, Marcus Rashford playing very well as well.
Yeah.
Like, now this England squad just really does feel pretty deep. I mean, Paul, what do you make of our chances going into next year's tournament?
Like you just said there, the attacking force we have and the
Sancho
talent,
as well,
the
yeah.
talent we have, we should be going with all confidence and looking to try and win the tournament.
Yeah.
Is that realistic? You think England can lift Euro 2020?
I'd like to think so
Yeah.
with the players we have on show, the boys in the Premier League and the Bundesliga that we have.
Oh dear.
And it's a great bunch. It's a young setup at the moment, and I think the managers there's got them all playing unbelievable well all together.
And they all seem to enjoy playing for England at the moment as well.
Chance for Chelsea just a minute ago. Martin dealing with a shot from Kovacic, spilled out, and then he got up fastly to deal with a Giroud follow-up, and he caught the ball. So a bit of a shaky one, but he redeemed himself.
Still 0-0 at Stamford Bridge, Will.
I mean, what a story that would be. First start for Martin and getting a clean sheet away at Stamford Bridge. But West Ham actually on the attack now. Cresswell on the left, fantastic one.
Oh,
Good clearance from Emerson, but they'll go again with Snodgrass. You know which way this is going, on his left foot, but West Ham doing well, you know, weathering the storm and putting forward an attack as well.
Lads, we've had another question in.
What's the name of this one?
I am Sachs. He's actually said something very rude. He says that the guy on the left looks like Howard Webb. That is rude, I am Sachs. No, me. It's me,
Howard.
I
Do you
think.
get that a lot, Howard Webb?
I've never had it, but the ball jokes do continue. You
Go
know?
on, what other-
Balding is beautiful, I
Who
am
else do you
sex.
get then? Who else do you
And Alex Andre has asked, could Liverpool win the Champions League again? What do we think? Obviously,
Definitely can. Definitely
Yeah,
can.
I mean,
Whether they will or not.
They've got quite a hard task. I think they need to go to RB Salzburg and get a point,
They do.
which,
Yeah,
which
not
won't
true
be
yet.
any easy feat. But Paul, what do you make of their chances? And who else do you think could be in that Champions League mix?
It's a tough one. Ain't it? If they, like you say, if they go and get their point, they're obviously qualified. And then the last 16, I think it could be anybody's.
Yeah.
Because there ain't no easy team to go and play in the Champions League quarter-final, semi-final, final. But of course, they've got a great chance. They're the olders, so they'll want to hold on to it.
And also, they're two-legged tie playing at Anfield on a European night.
Yeah.
I think they haven't lost since October 2014 at home in the Champions League, which is just incredible.
Is that in the knockouts? No, at
No,
home. You're right.
Full
home.
stop. Which was the game that Rodgers dropped Gerrard.
Another chance for Liverpool, Paul. Oh! Got to say, Matt Ryan in goal has had a great game for Brighton so far.
Really good, unbelievable football from Liverpool though. Mane especially. He's causing a lot of trouble down the left-hand side.
Oh,
Lovely bit of footwork here. Lovely one-touch football here. Mane,
Set.
Firmino, Salah.
just a good strike.
Bang, bang,
Good
bang.
save though.
Yeah, another save. Matt Ryan having a good half.
Really good. Could have been about 3 or 4 to Liverpool, other than the keeper saving them.
Yeah, so it's still 2-0. We're into injury time. at
Dele Alli
Anfield.
in the box here. Smith jigging and jiving, weaving and ducking. Oh! It's going to go back. He's still got the ball. Fantastic retention from in. Heung-min Son. And I need to calm down. No, a goal at Burnley!
Oh, we've seen a goal at Turf Moor. Who has it gone for? Will?
Burnley 0, Crystal Palace 1, and it looks like it's Wilfried Zaha. To be fair, they've been the stronger team, had the ball in the back of the net. That was disallowed using VAR, but Wilfried Zaha has scored at Turf Moor. It's a clearance from Nick Pope, and they've reduced the ball. They've got the ball on the halfway line, ball out wide. I think this is Zaha now working his way in from the left to the right. Oh, it's a stinker from Pope.
Good finish, though.
Should
Yeah.
Pope save that for you?
Oh, that stinks, that does.
Oh, yeah, it should do, yeah.
That can,
Half time at Anfield.
Half-time at
Half-time.
Anfield.
2-0.
I can
Nice
smell
shot.
that from here.
So, worst time to concede for Burnley. Zaha has the ball in the back of the net, and Roy goes,
That's 2 and 2 for Zaha.
punches his hand into the air, and half-time scenes at Anfield. We can here they are. 2-0 Liverpool, so great half. And got to be said, that man there on your picture, Matt Ryan, possibly been the best player of the half. Made 3 great saves. But it is Liverpool 2, Brighton 0 with 2 goals from Virgil van Dijk. So great half for Virgil van Dijk. And we can give you the half-time scenes. Whistle has just gone at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It is Tottenham 1, Bournemouth 0. The man we saw on your screen a minute ago, Dele Alli, having a great run of form under Jose Mourinho in the last few games. Scoring the only goal, although worth pointing out that VAR has been in effect in a couple of instances. Davinson Sanchez thought he scored a great little finish. We all thought he scored, but it was disallowed for handball in the build-up to the goal. Spurs also will feel aggrieved they didn't get a penalty. Steve Cook handling the ball, but it was not given. It is 1-0 Spurs at half-time. And the whistle goes for half-time at Stamford Bridge. It is Chelsea 0, West Ham 0. Good performance from West Ham at half-time. Kepa with a big save from Mikel Antonio, and Martin keeping that clean sheet as well. A lot of injury problems and chopping and changes for West Ham in the goal-keeping area this season, but it is 0-0 as things stand. So, Will, only one game currently going ahead in the first half, and that is Burnley against Crystal Palace. And Wilfried Zaha, we can talk about that goal, because big goal for them.
Yeah, you know which way he's going, but instead of curling it round, he's brought it back on his left, and I think that's what maybe he's unsighted Nick Pope, because it's gone to the near post. And yeah, Burnley 1-0 down at home. You don't often see that, especially against like a Crystal Palace team. I think have got 1 point in 5 games.
Although their away record's really good. I think only City and Liverpool have taken more points than Palace away from home in 2019.
Get out of Selhurst Park, maybe they'll have a bit of fun away from home.
And here are the scenes at Turf Moor. So just confirmation that the half-time whistle has gone in that fixture. It is Burnley 0, Crystal Palace 1. Burnley with the ball in the back of the net, disallowed. And Wilfried Zaha with the only goal of the game. Scored his first goal in 15 Palace appearances against Liverpool recently. He scored 10 Premier League goals last season, which was his best scoring season in league football. Just one of those 10 coming at home, and he is Palace's record scorer in the Premier League with 33 goals, 54 in 337 for the club. So he's a man they will want to keep. So, Will,
Yeah.
we can breathe now, half-time. A few goals in the Football Social. Interesting last 5 minutes there.
Yeah, just before Chelsea went in at half-time as well, Pulisic had a chance at the back post, but it came in a bit fast to him and he put it over the bar. But Martin's looked steady, strong, and he's been supported by that back line. But I think we can all agree, I think it's just coming up now on our screens, that West Ham had the best chance with...
This is the chance, isn't it?
Snodgrass whipping it in, and then Antonio arriving late, and it's a good, strong hand from Kepa.
It's a beautiful ball as well.
Paul, let's reflect on a few of your ex-clubs. Liverpool first, the game that you're watching. What is your assessment of that first half?
They got an early goal.
Yeah.
Brighton got themselves a little bit back into it, and then the same combination again put Liverpool 2 up. But towards the end of the game, Brighton come back into it, had 1 or 2 half chances. So it'd be a tough second half for them to get back into it. But I think Liverpool, if they score 1 more, it could be finished.
Could be finished. Okay. And West Ham. You must be. I know that we've only been glancing at West Ham because you're covering the Liverpool game, but looking at these chances here, we're looking at now. Compared to West Ham's recent run, they look like they've turned up for this game.
Yeah, they do. For me, it's a must stop the rot. So I think, especially the captain, he'd get them right fired up for this one. There's been a couple of changes that we've just seen him there. He should have scored maybe Antonio, but the manager's made a couple of changes and hopefully that's helped them. By the looks of it at the moment, it could go either way.
Yeah, the stats don't look good for West Ham. Without a win in 8 games in all competitions, lost each of their last 3 games in all competitions. Conceded 9 goals from set pieces this season, joint most in the Premier League. Despite their poor form, though, they have 13 points, which is the most at this stage in 4 seasons, and they've scored 16 goals as well, most in 4 seasons. So they have been in worse situations at this point of the season, but I think it's been the performances as well, hasn't it, that have been disappointing from West Ham. I mean,
I think
the first half against Tottenham, it was more West Ham playing bad than Tottenham playing well, I think, in that game.
Yeah, and
Newcastle game as well, wasn't it?
Yeah. And I think a little bit West Ham might have got away with it last week for scoring 2 late goals. It looked better than what it was.
So chances for West Ham. Will, other games as well. Tottenham. Lively game there, didn't you? Bournemouth, had a few early chances, but Spurs then with 3 big incidents, didn't they? A goal, a disallowed goal, and a penalty appeal.
Well, just watching the actual goal that was scored, and Toby there, I mean, they've got an NFL pitch at Spurs, but he was pinging it like a quarterback all the way up to Son, who played in Dele Alli. They took the lead there. The one handball from Sanchez, I think, with the new rules, I think we can all agree it's a bit harsh, but it is a handball. And then for me, if they're going to give one handball, you've got to give the other, because Steve Cook drops down like a goalkeeper, pretends he's winded with the chef, little 2 coughs, and gets away with a penalty decision.
And Paul, you said that was a penalty view straight away, didn't you? You only needed 1 replay to look at it.
Yeah. It's still out, so the ball's at his hand. For me, that's a penalty.
Okay, so and the other game, of course, is before the second half kicks off. We can give you an exclusive interview with Freddie Ljungberg as Jeff Shreve caught up with him ahead of his first game in charge at Arsenal.
Freddie, you've been associated with this club for over 2 decades. I mean, it's a long time since we've sat down and done this. It brings back a lot of memories, which really underlines how much you are part of the fabric of the furniture here. Regardless of the circumstances, what will it mean to you to be in charge of Arsenal tomorrow?
It's a great honour. That's how I feel. I feel this energy inside of me, and it's special. Of course, there is sadness a little bit what's happened to the club, where we are and this and that, and then excitement for what we can do in the future, tomorrow, the chance we have to play. So it's just been a great honour, and that's what I said to the players. I said, you guys have to do the job and stuff. I've tried to help and support you guys, but for me it's a great honour.
What was your initial reaction when you were asked, and were you surprised at all?
I was sorry to say, maybe that's not big-headed, I hope, but I was proud. I got honoured that they thought about me, that they would, such an important thing, that they trusted me to do that and deliver that. So that's how I felt. I felt excitement, because I feel that we have some very good football players here. It's an amazing club. So I felt excitement. That's the big thing.
It's a caretaker role at the moment. Have you been given any indication of roughly how long you're expected to be in charge for? We know things can move very quickly in football, but is it open? Is there any indication whatsoever?
No indication of how long or how short. They just said concentrate on the next game, do as good as you can, and we'll see from there. And for me, I concentrate on those players, and we have a game tomorrow, and try to do the best I can.
The obvious question is, do you want the job full-time? Do you want to prove you can do it? Get the results that makes you a serious candidate?
For me, it's about the team and the club. I try to concentrate for the future. We have a game tomorrow, try to win that as hard as we can. Maybe there's a few other games, we'll see. But for me, that's what I look at. The other stuff is, at the moment, totally irrelevant for me.
Do you want to be a manager?
We'll see in the future. At the moment, I'm learning the trade. I've been trying to do everything I can to prep myself. Of course, it's an honour that the club thinks I'm ready to take this big responsibility. But at the moment, I'm just concentrated game by game.
You said you want to bring smiles back to the club, put smiles on people's faces. How are you going to do that?
It's, a lot of us come from us, from staff, and of course we play good football or not. But I was, for example, in Bundesliga with Wolfsburg. We got in when they were almost getting relegated, and that's when it's a lot of pressure within a club from a big club, and people are down. So I've had experience of players and staff being very down and low, and there is things, in my opinion, that you can do, and that's what I'm going to try to do. But end of the day, if you play good football and have a result, there's nothing better than that to raise spirits.
As you said, this is all very much in the now. It's all happened very quickly for you. You've got things to sort out. What is the position on your coaching staff, and will you be able to assemble your own team?
Yes, I've been asked to try to organise what I can and stuff, and of course it's been quick. It's been a quick turnaround since yesterday, and trying to look at Norwich and trying to sort everything out. But of course we'll have things in place hopefully for the game tomorrow.
What about the captaincy? That's an issue that you have inherited. Who will be? Have you made a decision? Who will be the captain?
I believe in, like, well, just because it's me, I'm not going to try to make enormous, massive changes. I'm going to keep those things as it is. There was been so much in the media, so many discussions within and stuff, so that's going to be left out. I'm going to concentrate on how we play and what we can do on the football pitch at the moment.
But you have actually got to name a captain, so will Pierre-Emerick remain as the captain?
You'll see that tomorrow.
Well, he looks very happy.
Yeah, you would be, wouldn't you? An Arsenal legend.
How do you think he will get on?
I think he will. Hopefully you have the new manager boost, won't you? And then going into the game tomorrow away at Norwich, tricky, but with the attacking force that they've got, and hopefully they'll be getting back on his side. I think it should be a convincing away win. Do
you think?
The Freddie Ljungberg reign will begin with a win.
What was it like? You started talking about it, and then I think we got interrupted with a goal to play against Freddie Ljungberg.
Yeah.
Tough player.
He was, yeah. He worked hard as well, forward and back.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you can. For me, I think that's what he'd try and get across to his team as well.
I think he would carry that trait into management and coaching. He'll demand that from his players.
I've seen some of his under-23 players playing. He likes the work rate.
Does he?
He likes the team to work hard. So I think he will stimulate that for the first team there.
Yeah.
And obviously being, like Will said, a legend there.
Yeah.
Hopefully that status might give him a lift going into tomorrow's game.
And on former players coaching, you're coaching yourself at West Ham. Paul, tell us about your role and how that's going this season.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I just do a little bit with under-15s, so just trying to give them something back that I took out of it. If I can help by a minimal bit, then that's a good job done for me, and I will get a buzz from that.
And what's the goal going forward? Is it getting into management? Long term?
No, not really. I'm quite enjoying just with the young ones, trying to help them prolong their career and know what's needed for them to go on and try and make it as a professional footballer.
Is a big part of your role also just talking to them about off the pitch as well as on the pitch? Because now you see some players that make their debut at 16 or 17 and they get huge contracts, and there's a lot of pressure on young people's shoulders. They move away from their family. Do you sit them down and go, look, and give them some advice off the pitch as well? Yeah,
you'd like to. You don't like to interfere with, obviously, their life with their parents, and they've obviously got agents, but if they hear it from an ex-footballer and a professional, hopefully they can take a little bit out of it, and if I can give a little bit to them, which they take, then I think that'd be job done.
Love that. Doogie, let's remind the viewers how they can get in touch. We've had some great comments so far. Just remind the viewers how they can get in touch. And we've got any questions we can take now?
Yeah, we have indeed. Get your comments, get your questions, in the comment section of Soccer AM and Football Daily's live stream. And we've got one right now, just momentarily lost it. No, Rune Van Loo has asked, who should have Lampard picked, Batshuayi or Giroud? I mean, Will, you've mainly been watching the Chelsea-West Ham game. How's Giroud started? Has that...
He's been bringing into play Pulisic quite a lot. Mason Mount's had a few chances, so he's definitely making the others around him look better. But as an out-and-out goal scorer, the first half he's not really shown that. But I'll probably get egg on my face when he scores a hat-trick in the second.
Yeah, fair enough. No, big game for Giroud because there's so much talk about him leaving in January, potentially going to Lyon, supposedly. But if I was Frank Lampard, I'd be pretty reluctant to get rid of an experienced head like Giroud. He's a great third-choice striker, or in this case, seemingly second. So a great player to have around the dressing room. And from all the reports, like the amount of work he's doing off the pitch with Tammy Abraham, like taking him under his wing. Oh, good man to have around the pitch, apparently. Have around the place, even, Giroud. So I'd definitely keep him on. But yeah, he'll be hoping for a goal in this second half.
One of your former clubs, well, Charlton, were you across the news yesterday, Paul?
I see, yeah.
What do you make, obviously, the sale, the purchase of Charlton? A lot's been going on.
Fantastic for the football club, the staff, the players, and obviously the fans. It's, I think he's kept a lot of fans away. What's been going on?
Yeah.
So hopefully that the sale of the club might bring some fans
You think
back.
it'll only be positive news for the
I like
fans,
to think so because the job Lee Bowyer's done there has been second to none. It's been fantastic. So hopefully it's going to be good times for Charlton.
Yeah, pretty epic playoff, that, wasn't it?
It was a bit.
You had to bring it up, seriously.
It was a bit like.
Just trying to enjoy my Saturday, Smith.
Do you want to ask Doogie who he supports on that?
I obviously can get that.
Sorry.
Miserable.
It's the same when I was a 16-year-old. We played Sunderland in the playoff final and won on penalties.
Do you want to remind him about that as well?
Yeah, and won on penalties.
Seriously, come on. Come on. I've asked you all the nice questions, Paul. I'm going to get you some stingers.
The born and bred Clive Mendonca.
Yeah.
That Charlton-Sunderland playoff game is still, to this day, one of the most famous.
Yeah, because I went to the league game last year, and it was about 20 pages of the pre-match was all talking about that game.
Right, okay,
it was brilliant. Paul, on that question, you've talked, well, not on that topic necessarily, but you played for a lot of clubs. But I was wondering, who's the best captain you've ever played under?
Oof. My time weren't long, but probably Steven Gerrard.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just on and off the pitch. You know what the club, expects when you walk into the building. So to work with someone like him was an unbelievable achievement for me.
And how do you think did you see it early on that he was going to go into management? As in, was it quite obvious that he'd potentially go down that route?
Yeah. And he's done so well, obviously up at Glasgow Rangers.
Yeah, no, he's smashing it. I wouldn't be surprised if he's Liverpool boss in 5-6 years.
Oh, okay, big call that. We are underway in our game second half. Just remind you of the scores today. A big game earlier on in our early game. Newcastle 2, Man City 2. Goals from Raheem Sterling and Kevin De Bruyne from Man City. Jetro Williams and then John Joe Shelvey. We got a late equaliser in the 88th minute. Big goal, not just for Newcastle, but also in the title race. The goals that we are covering on the Football Social today. Burnley 0, Crystal Palace 1. Wolves are in the 46th minute, just before the half-time whistle blew. It is goalless at Stamford Bridge between Chelsea and West Ham. Liverpool 2, Brighton Hove Albion 0. 2 goals from Virgil van Dijk on the 18th and 24th minute. And it's Tottenham 1, Bournemouth 0. Goal from Dele Alli. Davinson Sanchez also with the ball in the back of the net, but it did not count due to a handball. Will?
Yes, my friend.
How have the game started? We're going a few minutes. Any chances for any of the teams? Chelsea look like they're on the attack at the minute.
Yeah, Giroud came in for a penalty. Referee says it's hit the chest. I presume that will go to VAR, but we're halfway through the season. I still don't know how VAR checks work. And Spurs put in a very promising ball. Harry Kane, the assist merchant he's turning into. Cross in, Ramsdale flapping, and Bournemouth get away with one there. So we're about 30 seconds in and already more action than we had in the first half.
Happy days. Guys, we've had a question in from Xavier Lord Noodlebrain.
Wow. Are you actually making these up now? Wow, unbelievable.
Yeah, keep him coming, Xavier Lord Noodlebrain.
He won't have the problem that I have, being called Adam Smith, to find another person with that name, though. At least you won't, all his emails will go to him. They won't go to the boxing commentator. So
exactly. Noodlebrain's got his own thing going. He said, would you say that the gap in quality between the Premier League and the Championship is shrinking?
Ooh, perfect person to ask. He played in both leagues.
Exactly.
I do, yeah. But you look at the Championship now, there's some massive football clubs in that league. So I think it is shrinking.
Sorry.
And again, whoever gets relegated this year is going to be another big football club to go and play in the Championship. So if they could keep hold of the players, then it is getting closer and closer.
Definitely, and it's been nice to see some Championship players come up in recent years, like Buendia and Pookie and Madison last year. Obviously not with Leicester, but came from Norwich.
Lundstrom.
And Lundstrom as well, instantly hit the ground running. There's a lot more quality in the Championship than people used to give credit for, I think. Will, have you noticed that, being a Birmingham fan? Do you think the Championship's going up in quality?
What are you laughing at there, mate?
Sorry, just the way you said that.
What are you laughing at?
Go on.
No,
you know the Championship inside out.
Yeah. I mean, the quality doesn't run all the way down to Birmingham, even though we are trying to play possession-based football with direct squad. But no, I think you see with Norwich and Aston Villa, they've come up and they've kept the principles, and they've kept going and playing the way they were in the Championship. Sometimes they're detriment, but Cresswell's in for West Ham.
Chance for Cresswell, West Ham.
On his right foot! Oh! Would you believe it?
Chelsea 0, West Ham 1. Paul Konchesky's delighted. Will Brazier talk us through the goal.
And it looks like a young Paul Konchesky. It's Aaron Cresswell, the left back, working his way down, cutting in on his right and curling one past Kepa. Must be delighted, his job was on the line, some people said. Cresswell feints with the left, comes in on the right, curls one into the side.
Paul Konchesky from one left back to another. Critique this goal. It's a lovely finish, isn't it?
Well, great finish onto his right foot. I didn't expect anything less, to be fair. Chopped in on his right foot. Oh, what a great finish.
Right. And look at the away end.
Your goal!
Come on, you Spurs! Come on!
Provisionally speaking. It is 2-0.
Now, make sure you... Yeah, look at this. See if it gets disallowed, William.
I've got a direct feed to Stockley Park. They're in my ear as we speak. But Dele Alli, the last time I saw he was in the box. No, I can't see anything wrong with that. Maybe a hand involved.
That is a classic Dele Alli goal.
Have we seen Jose Mourinho said, was it Dele's brother playing for the club or Dele? Well, it's the answer.
That is the Dele from 2 years ago coming back.
That is the Dele that could win us the Euros.
It's another long ball chipped over. Dele Alli with the ball at his feet, dinked over the keeper. Lovely goal. That will stand.
Dele at the double.
Goal. Dele at the double. It's Tottenham 2, Bournemouth 0 in the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Woo!
Is going crazy. There he is. Points to his name on the back of his shirt. And it's Spurs 2, Bournemouth 0, and he is going to be a player. I've said it before he scored, he is going to be a different player this season now. He's playing in that role. He looks like he's really enjoying his football. One thing I'd like to say as well, actually, I interviewed Dele at the start of the season, and he made a really interesting point about the fact that he often gets compared to his own success early on. He achieved so much at such a young age, scored so many goals, that I think that he gets compared to his own first few seasons, which were incredible. And the point that he made was that last year he had so many injuries, and that to get back into a team that was performing quite well at the time is quite difficult. And I think the injuries played a part with that. And he's very honest, Dele, in all of his interviews that he did. And even this week, someone clipped out bits of him saying his body can't do what he used to at the age of 23, and it went quite viral on social. But if you actually watch the whole interview, it's taken quite out of context. He was talking about giving his body 1% gains and how he has to adapt his game because of injuries. And that one of his
I heard him speak
career
as well about it. He spoke
really well, doesn't
really
he?
well. He
very
spoke
well. And I thought the way he handled the quote with Pochettino was class. The way he's spoken about Jose. I just think there's a danger in this country sometimes of us building young players up so much. We've done it with all great young players that then if they don't start playing well, you compare them to what they were like earlier. I just think it's a little bit unfair, and I think he's going to go on to have a great season.
I think what's been good with him as well, though, because he had a lot of commitments outside of the game as well, especially after we had that World Cup success. And when he noted that his form had dropped off, he cut all those ties and just focused on his football. And now it's paying dividends, isn't it?
Bit of a chance for the Liverpool game. I say a chance, but Connolly's appealing for a foul. Is he there, Paul?
Yeah,
bit
I
of
just
handbags,
think
isn't it?
yeah, Jordan Henderson just give him the hard shoulder really, and he just went flying.
So things going very well for Tottenham, 2-0 up against a team that they've got a very good record against. Tottenham do play well against Bournemouth, and one person that usually always scores against Bournemouth is Harry Kane. He scored 7 goals in his 6 Premier League games against Bournemouth, and he is a 7-2 price boost to score the next goal. That was 3-1. So if you think Harry Kane will score, 7-2 price boost to score the next goal. That was 3-1. Don't forget, you must be 18 plus. Full terms and conditions apply.
Oh dear. The last thing that you needed at Spurs, Smithy, was another goalkeeper injury. And
Gazaniga's been playing well as well.
he kept it, and it was one of those ones where the players have got round him and they've rushed quickly.
I think it's just a collision.
The medics on. Maybe, hopefully, it's just an impact one.
Kidney area.
What's
Paula, is this a muscular injury, this to Gazaniga, do you think, or just a collision? Is this something? Looks like an impact, doesn't it? Do you think?
Yeah, I think it's just gone for the. Here we go.
Do you think he'll be all right to carry on looking at?
Oh no,
he just trod on the top of his knee.
That's on his knee, actually. That. Oh.
That would just be a
It should be okay.
Imagine, yeah. Oh.
Just buying a bit of time, by the way.
Guys, couple of questions. Bob Dave says RIP headphone users. I think that's in relation to Will. And where was it? Karim Metwali has asked, who do you think will win the Ballon d'Or?
He is.
Who are we thinking, lads?
That's a good question. I mean, we think it's going to be between Van Dijk and Messi, do we?
I think they're the sort
possibly
of
Ronaldo.
favourites, yeah, I don't think it should be Ronaldo, to be quite honest. I don't think his season
Gone on the back
year,
end of last year. And
yeah, I
Van
mean,
Dijk's form was.
Do you think though it's a lot harder for a defender to win?
Yeah, I was about to say, can a defender get it?
Yeah. Cannavaro won it. I think Cannavaro was the last defender
in
to win it.
2006. Yeah,
You'd like to think he could, but.
So do you think Van Dijk will win it?
Young children now with Messi and people like that, they love, don't they?
Yeah.
Exciting, make things exciting.
I think Lionel Messi. Oh, who do I think will win it?
I think Van Dijk won UEFA Player of the Year.
Yeah, the one thing I will say is that winning the Champions League tends
to swing it, doesn't it?
Chance for Brighton there, Paul.
Yeah, set play, corner come in. I think Dunk just beat the goalie and just headed it wide.
Here's the replay.
He's lost his marker.
Oh, it's a close chance for Brighton.
It's a great leap from him as well.
I think he's run off.
Look at him.
He's run off Henderson there.
Massive leap.
The only thing I was going to say about Van Dijk, the argument for Van Dijk, is that they do like winning the Champions League tends to be a big factor, doesn't it?
Yeah,
for players that win it. So he has got that on his side. But I think Messi's on fire, isn't he?
He is, yeah.
If it was done on this season so far, so just 19-20, it'll be really interesting because I think it should be Robin Lewandowski. I think he's only not scored in 2 games.
One, I think.
Oh yeah, but then there was one in the league, but one in the cup as well.
Yeah.
For club and
Spurs are in here.
I think he's on about 24 goals.
Chance for Spurs.
Oh no! Is it Ali again? Dele
with a chance for his hat trick.
Should have had a hat trick there. It was well worked down the right hand side. I think Dembele and Sergio Aurier making a run. Cross comes in. Dembele misses it. Dele Alli's got a lot of time here, and it's just gone straight over. It's gone. Oh, and there's a bit of handbags down at Turf Moor.
What's happening?
The referee sorting it out. Calm has been bought. Zaha is down on the floor. He's holding his ankle. A bit of a melee. I don't know if there's been some sort of heavy challenge gone in, but the Crystal players aren't happy. Zaha's not happy, and the referee's getting just a yellow card out.
Paul, a bit of a collision in your game. Is there anything in this?
No, there's nothing. I think
proper and Mane, isn't
Mane
it?
couldn't get out of the way. I don't think. I think his stud just hit Proper's leg, but
yeah,
it looks
he's still down there. Go on.
Big Mac Beats has asked, Big Mac Beats even,
Big
has
Mac
asked,
Beats.
do you think Pablo Fornals is a first-team starter for West Ham? Paul, he's come in for a bit of criticism after not necessarily hitting the ground running at West Ham as people expected. What do you think of Pablo Fornals?
He's a young boy, but I think people forget he's still a young kid.
Yeah.
18,
still
19.
kicking off.
And it's a big league to come into if you're not used to it.
He's only 23, I think.
Hodgson's on the pitch.
So giving
Chelsea chance! Oh, great tackle.
Given his time, I think he will be a good player. I think he's just trying to find his feet. And like a lot of the players that come to England, it maybe take a season to get used to the tempo and how English football is.
Definitely. I hope he doesn't get ruled out too soon, because his record at Villarreal was really impressive. I think only Messi provided more assists in the 17th
Chance for Chelsea.
season.
Well, there's been a couple of chances. Sorry, Dougie, carry on.
Right. Oh, no. He just had a very good record at Villarreal, so give him time, Pablo.
Give him time, he says. Will, couple of chances for Chelsea.
Yeah.
We're going to see replays. Talk us through both of these as Frank Lampard's chatting to Jody Morris. Looks like they're about to bring a substitute on, but talk to us about these two chances they just had.
Yeah, it was an in-swinging corner from Pulisic, and the header was from Kurt Zouma, and they're checking for a red card. No red card. That was probably the quickest check we've ever had. Phil Bardsley made a challenge on Zaha, and then when Zaha was down, went and got up in his face just to say, I'm here, I'm the boss, when it wasn't really needed. Zaha reacted angrily, and a rare sight, Roy Hodgson was on the pitch trying to calm things down.
And they did go check it with VAR, as we saw, so decision, no red card.
Yeah,
You don't want to mess with Phil Bardsley, though.
No.
You don't want to mess with Roy Hodgson.
Remember when he knocked Rooney out in his kitchen?
Yes.
Fantastic.
Boxing.
Boxing, exactly. That was such a good story. Guys, we've got another question in from Aaron, 2006. Do we think Mourinho will win any trophies with Spurs? Smithy, you feeling confident?
Go on, mate. Mourinho win trophies at
Do
Tottenham.
you think he'll win a trophy?
I actually do, and I don't want to sound like a deluded fan because we've got a new manager and be disrespectful to Pochettino, because I was gutted when we sacked Pochettino. I still think he was a fantastic manager and can't believe that the club made the decision to get rid of the best manager we've had in Premier League history. Having said that, I do think what Jose will do differently is that he will prioritise domestic silverware. So I think the issue with the board and Tottenham is that because of the financial situation at the club is that there is big pressure to finish in the top four for the finances of the club and everything like that, which I completely get because there's big money involved. Spurs obviously got to the final. Do I think Spurs are realistically going to win the Champions League this year? Probably not. As you said, Paul, if we get to the knockouts, it is a bit of a lottery. They can win it. I think there's teams that are better equipped this season to win it. I do think an FA Cup this season or a League Cup next season is a winnable trophy for Spurs, and I think Mourinho will prioritise them and play a full-strength team. So I think he will prioritise them, and I think he probably will win a domestic cup for Tottenham. And with the squad that we've got, I don't think that's beyond the realms of possibility. It's more where we'll be as a club in the long term with Jose. I think we've already seen he's had a positive impact.
Massive impact.
Wow.
And he's clear. The jury about Mourinho is, whatever you like to say about him, he's clearly a world-class manager because of the silverware that he's won at every club he's been at. It's just how long he'll be at Spurs for, I think, is how Spurs fans feel. And also, it's very early days, so we'll wait and see. But a good appointment, and we'll wait and see, I think.
Definitely. I think that's fair enough analysis.
It's a huge chance for Burnley, yeah. Chris Wood was through, and
There's a lot going on at Turf Moor at the minute.
I only caught the end of it.
What a save! Oh, another big chance for West Ham. It's all West Ham.
Great save again.
Was it Ogbonna, I think, rose up like a salmon?
We'll talk about Turf Moor in a minute, because there's another chance for Burnley, but big chance for West Ham. Paul, should he score this, or is this just a great save for you?
Balbuena, I think.
No, it's Ogbonna.
Oh, good
I
save.
think that's a great save, to be fair.
Another good save from Kepa.
Yeah.
Came in for criticism during midweek as well because he misjudged that cross against Valencia. So good.
And it's another corner for West Ham. John! That's in!
How's that
Could they be ruining one of these chances?
Chance for Spurs, Sergio Aurier, right back!
Oh, it's all going on.
Look at this from Mikel Antonio. Surely this should be in the back of the net, Paul.
That's
Heads
one of
it
them
down.
runs.
He's not even connected.
He went
tried to lead it
in the end.
Will they regret that miss? Look at the body language from West Ham players. They know that is a big chance. They go straight down the other end for Chelsea. Kurt Zouma playing the ball. Wow,
Liverpool
big chance
attack here.
for
Liverpool.
West Ham.
Robinson. Come to nothing.
Scott Dan has
West Ham
finally...
have not won at Chelsea since September 2002. Scott Dan wasn't playing, but you have something to say about
Yeah, off the line! Oh my goodness! It was that far over, I thought it had gone in. Ball comes across. Burnley, Chris Wood had an absolute stinker, maybe missing the season. They've got a corner, the ball bobbling around. McCarthy, I think, has cleared it eventually. Chris Wood had an Antonio-esque style chance. He was about 1 yard out, and he didn't put the ball in the back of the net, but Burnley battering Crystal Palace.
And a
at
double
Tottenham.
sub at Stamford Bridge, it looks like, Will. Is that Willian and
Yeah, I saw
Kante, I
Willian
think?
warming up, yeah. Kante, I mean, he's had quite a few goals. It was 3 in the last 5, was it, for Kante? An absolute goal
I saw
machine.
it very quickly, but I think it's Willian and Kante coming on.
Oh, they checking
Who-
a penalty at Spurs. Rico.
That's a penalty. Come on, I've not even seen it, and I can tell you that's a penalty.
I think it's the lad starting right wing
it
on
is.
his first start. He's tripped him.
Penalty for you. It's on Heung-min Son.
I don't think
It's
they've given it.
Danjuma on Son. There's hands on him. Is that a penalty for you, Paul?
How's
It
this?
depends if he's given this or not. What is the original decision?
No, nothing on the original.
So having been at Stockley Park, I've done this course. So this is where it gets interesting. It's only if it's deemed to be a clear and obvious error. So if the ref had given that and it goes to Stockley Park,
nothing.
it's likely to stay because they'll only overrule it if it's a clear and obvious error. If he doesn't give it,
Oh,
they'll only
right.
overrule it to a penalty if it's clear and obvious. So that's where sometimes you look at penalties and
What
you think
a tackle.
it's a pen, it hasn't been given.
Right,
They'll
okay.
only overrule it, which is why most penalties this season, when it goes to VAR, has stuck with the
Stuck,
original
yeah.
decision.
Still keeps the power with the referees.
Exactly.
Chance here for Brighton. Oh, young Connolly there. Great little turn in the box. Unlucky. Hit the
He's got a shot
target.
off well.
Unlucky.
Paul, what do you make of Connolly? He broke on the scene against Tottenham, played very well in that game. He looks lively in this game, doesn't
He does. I've said to you before. He's one of them centre forwards, probably an old
lovely
school
knock.
one.
Yeah.
He wants to run the other way now rather than keep coming to feet, and he proved that today. And
Fitness levels look good, don't they? He's
Yeah.
always troubling defenders.
he looks like he's growing in stature with his confidence every game he plays.
100%.
Look at this game so far, because we haven't actually spoken about our feature game much because there's been so much going on in the others. Liverpool still with that 2-0 lead, so on paper it looks comfortable, but Brighton have done all right this half. How do you assess the
Yeah.
start to the second half?
If you went on possession, I think Brighton would probably be up, on top. That's the only chance really that they've had. But I think Liverpool are happy just trying to hit them on a counter-attack
Yeah.
now. They've got the 2-goal cushion, and if they can counter-attack, I think that's what they're happy for.
Guys, we've got another question in. Really
Go on.
enjoying the questions. Keep them coming in the comment section. Ivo Silva has asked, Paul, who's your favourite ever left back?
Growing up was Paolo Maldini.
Oh,
I used to
yeah.
love
What
watching
a
Italian
player.
football.
Great choice.
And I used to love watching him and the way he played. Just
Good looking bloke as well.
I said, who's that old bloke over there? And turned around and it's Paolo Maldini. So
Wow.
we went away with the camera and got a picture with him.
I love
Lovely.
it. There.
And
Fair.
footballing family as well. Ballers throughout
Yeah,
their family.
Exactly.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
his dad.
Dad played, his son plays.
Yeah, his son, I
So-
think his son's on the AC Milan books, I think. But yeah, great footballing stock. What a choice. Yeah, Paolo
Yeah, good
Maldini, what a
choice.
legend. And a more sort of defensively minded fullback than a lot of others that people
Yeah, I
play.
think
like
because
Roberto
he
Carlos
could
is-
play centre half
He
as
could
well,
he played
couldn't he?
centre half as
So,
well, didn't he? Yeah.
Is that something that you always sort of admired in left backs growing up? It was like their defensive solidity rather than their attacking threat, or
yeah, and I think that's why the game's changed now. As a left back, we said it earlier. You are a left back, but you're more of an attacking player.
yeah.
Like the left back now for Liverpool got right into their box.
Perfect timing.
Go on,
Chamberlain.
the Ox.
Perfect timing. As you were saying that, Robertson bursting down on the touchline, couldn't be further forward.
It's a great
I
chance for
feel like we
Liverpool
need to
there.
talk about the Ox as well, because whenever we talk about Liverpool, we quite rightly talk about the front three, we talk about the full-backs, we talk about Van Dijk. Almost everyone except the Ox, who, before his injury, was in such great
I'm
form.
about to say, before his injury, he was probably one of the most spoken
Yeah.
about footballers, but he
Would
had
he
a
have
bad
got to the
injury.
World Cup for you in the form that he was in if he had not got injured?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. And maybe have played.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That good. Start 11.
I thought he
Yeah.
was towards the end before he got injured. I thought he was up there with the best.
I'm praying that he stays fit this year because he missed Euro 2012 with an
Yeah.
injury. He missed Euro.
Champions
I
League
think he missed the
final.
World Cup with an injury. Another
like 3
Euros.
major
He's been
tournaments,
so unlucky.
Yeah.
And I think he'll make such a difference to that English midfield. And it does take a while to get back from an knee injury. So to come back in this sort of form really bodes well for England. I think it's such an exciting time.
I think
for
it
him.
helps as
played
well
to him.
with the team he's playing in at the moment.
Yeah.
For sure.
So Liverpool doing very well. It's all going their way, 2-0 up, as we said.
And
If
we're
they
back in the
avoid-
box here.
Oh.
Wanyama. Didn't connect. Should have been free for me.
For Sadio
That.
Mane as well. That's by his standards. Poor
Yes,
chance, really.
it is, yeah.
I think he did better. Here's the replay now. Wijnaldum plays it across. He just scuffs it into the ground.
The thing I like about Liverpool at the moment, they don't rush anything when they're in the box, do
No.
they?
No, they don't.
They're not just
And the
rushing.
stats are very good for them. 1-12 and drawn 1 of their opening 13 Premier League games. If they avoid defeat today, they will equal a club record 31 games unbeaten in the top flight set between 1987 and 1988. The only side to have scored in every Premier League game this season. But, and Doogie referenced this earlier on the show, to be fair to him, they've only kept 3 clean sheets in 22 games in all competitions this season and none in the last 11. So this will be
Massive
another
for
good
them.
aspect
Yeah.
for them if they manage to get a clean sheet. Because it's probably... I imagine Jurgen Klopp's not got a lot he's unhappy with, but that must be something, because they'll look at all the stats that he's not particularly happy with.
Especially as a back 5, the 4 defenders and a goalie, that's your aim, to try and keep a clean sheet. And if they can get one today, like you say, it'd be a massive boost for them and winning the game.
Yeah, definitely.
West Ham again now.
West Ham,
As well as Lovren's played in the last couple of games, I feel like they're really missing Matip as well, because he started the season playing so well.
Yeah, he did.
Arguably better than Van Dijk, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
There we
Ox
go,
on the
here's the Ox.
charge.
chance for Trent.
Another great block. There's been a lot of last-ditch blocks from Brighton and some fantastic saves from Matt Ryan. Like, it could have been a lot more like 4 or 5. It's a lot of last-ditch defending. Well done to them.
Dangerous free kick here for Burnley. Robbie Brady and Jeff Hendrick standing over it on the right-hand side.
And we've got a corner for West Ham as well, so talk us through the free
Got
kick
Burnley
first, Will.
Brady whips it in. Keeper comes, gathers. And now we go over to Stamford Bridge. West Ham with a corner. It's going to be in swinging. Left footer from Creswell, who scored the goal. Near post. And it's cleared away, but they'll have another chance to whip it in. They're playing well. They're still
West Ham
attacking.
look good, don't
Cresswell's done really well.
Chance.
Left post.
Let's go!
2 goals.
West Ham United!
Spurs have scored as well.
Let's go! Yes!
Wow!
Go!
Mamma mia! Mamma mia!
It's a goal for West Ham, goal for Spurs. It is Moussa Sissoko with a goal for Tottenham.
Yeah,
Talk us through the West Ham goal first, Will. Let's have it.
Yeah, well, we talked about the recycled corner. Cresswell's brought it onto his right foot. He's dallying and dazzling everyone. Ball across. Zuma's.
It's just hit him, Antonio.
It's off the post, I think. It's off the post.
Is it off the post? I mean,
There's
it
his
was
Tottenham chance.
And then
Son.
Heung-min Son with the
Oh, it's
ball
a
in.
lovely
Great
goal
finish.
from Moussa
What a
Sissoko.
finish.
Still checking for VAR down at Spurs.
Are they?
No.
Oh.
Sub at Anfield, Salah's off.
Oh, you're joking.
He doesn't look happy.
I think this might
Does
get...
not look happy.
Chelsea's going to VAR. Will, come on, your VAR reviews have been...
It's potential
Tin pot at best.
handball on
Smith, there's 2 goals going in there.
Adam
I've got 4
Lallana.
games to watch. Please give me some help.
Substitution at Liverpool. What happened, Paul?
No, just a sub. Mo Salah's off, Adam Lallana's on, but Salah did not look happy getting took off.
They're checking for handball, I
Yeah,
think.
I think it's definitely a handball.
Right, so Tottenham goal stands. It is 3-0 Tottenham. Dele Alli with 2 and Moussa Sissoko with the 3rd goal for Tottenham. There is a VAR review. It is currently West Ham. Well, it's 1-0 to West Ham. That's Stamford Bridge, but they have the ball in the back of the
I'm
net.
afraid.
Yeah,
And it looks like this might be disallowed.
Yeah.
West Ham will be kicking themselves if they don't win this game, Paul. They've had big chances.
I think Zuma's awkwardness has actually made it like...
Decision has been made. VAR review, no goal at Stamford Bridge. In the meantime, wake me up before you go. Who needs Bale when you've got Sissoko?
Love it. Very good.
Oh, okay. Burnley Palace. It's been a bit feisty in that game. What can you tell us?
It's been a bit feisty. Zaha was rising to some challenges from Phil Bardsley, but after the second half started, it's literally been all Burnley. They're camped in Crystal Palace's half, but they just can't get the breakthrough. Jay Rodriguez is on. And Chelsea have gone up the other end straight away. Pulisic's chance with a cross. Martin catches and currently on for a clean sheet on his debut away at Stamford Bridge in a derby match. Bournemouth with a chance, ball bouncing around.
Goal?
No, cleared away.
Oh, no.
Now Spurs going.
Spurs looking to
Spurs
go
have a
on the
chance to
counter-attack.
Lads, we've had another question, very topical after today. Mike Hock has asked, is Matt Ryan the most underrated keeper in the Premier League?
Paul, you've been watching him play today. What have you made of his performance? It looks good.
He's been fantastic. He's made some great saves. Distribution's been really good. Like we say, Brighton like to play from the back, and he's really good with his feet as well. So I haven't really seen much of him, to be fair. So he's impressed me today.
Definitely. In the mix for underrated keepers as well. I think he's very good. But the keeper that has been worked the most this year has actually been Bernd Leno. Which says a lot about Arsenal's defence. Most saves in the Premier League.
Do you know, I think it's been underrated for years prior to the last few is Fabianski. If you look at any West Ham fan, in fact, we've had a few on the show said their best signing in the last 5 years. 2 different, I think Jack Mate and Spencer both said their best signing of the last 5 year period has been Fabianski. Now, if you said that to Arsenal fans 6 years ago, whenever he was playing for them, and wasn't playing for them, you'd sort of say Fabianski. But I think he's been underappreciated, and I think now that he's not playing, you notice him when he's not
the
there.
difference. Exactly.
Substitutions at Chelsea quickly. Giroud has come off, not made the difference, and Callum Hudson-Odoi come on. So I don't think, because Willian came on and Kante came on, there's not a recognised number 9 on that Chelsea
And a
at the moment.
substitution at Tottenham, a man I'm a big fan of, who's not put a foot wrong since signing for Spurs, Lucas Moura. His goals-to-game ratio is brilliant. I think he will feature. Surprised not to see him start, actually. He looks like he's going to be coming on, so that will be for like, do you think?
Yeah, very dangerous free kick at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. They're obviously 3-0 up, but Harry Wilson's got the ball in the middle of the goal, just on the edge of the D.
Oh, this is a dangerous...
You'd like to think he practices these. He's got it over the wall and he scored!
Take goal.
That is training ground execution,
He's
perfection.
such a good free kick taker, Harry Wilson.
I think he scored one against Man City earlier in the year
He did.
as well.
Stanchion, that was.
Phenomenal. What a free kick.
That's practice makes perfect.
And I think he scored one against Man United for Derby.
He did.
Last year as well.
I mean,
Yeah.
that was
a
like,
phenomenal set.
Chelsea are in here. Oh my
Carabao
God.
Cup. Great goal.
Great
What a
competition
goal.
as well.
Love the
The
bend.
reason that's such a good goal is because of how near it is. I know that sounds stupid, but it's
Up and
sometimes
down.
harder to get it up and over.
down, yeah.
The nearer
Keeper's
it
done all
is.
he can, but Harry
No
Wilson's
keeper is saving that. That is such a good free kick.
game on.
I mean, I haven't watched all of it, but Spurs have had a goal disallowed, a penalty shout, they've had
Bournemouth
another
started
chance.
well, but then after that,
Yeah.
the goals did rain for Tottenham.
Sissoko was his first goal since September 2017 prior to
Played
that.
really well today.
But it's another game in which Tottenham haven't kept a clean sheet. They've scored a lot of goals under Jose Mourinho. 7 goals before today, plus 3 makes 10, I believe. So 10 goals for Jose Mourinho, but another goal conceded. So this is a worry for Tottenham, conceding a lot of goals, and they've taken... Is that Ndombele off for Lucas Moura at 3-1 up?
Yep.
Yeah.
That is a strange substitution, isn't it? It's a very un-Jose-like substitution.
You're going for it, yeah. Bizarre. Guys, we've got a question in from Rolling Dough. Wants to know, should Chelsea sign a big name in defence? They've obviously had some issues at the back in this game, but otherwise been pretty solid. Do we think they need a centre-back?
Why did they let Nathan Ake go?
Yeah, very good point. Nathan Ake needs a move. I feel like he's,
Moorish.
he's been linked with Man City and Spurs over the last couple of years.
yeah.
I think he is of that level.
Jose likes him, doesn't he? And also Man City need a centre-back, didn't they? Ref. Come on, Lee Mason.
But I'm kind of the opinion that with the emergence of Tomori and Rudiger to come back, I don't know whether Chelsea do need a centre-back.
Maybe they might, yeah.
Can't either, can they?
And they can't, although that might be overturned. I think the hearing's next week. Or it might be extended, cut down till January is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So we shall see.
We shall see.
Corner
Paul,
for Burnley.
I noticed, Paul, that your eyes are more fixated on the West Ham game than Liverpool. This will be, if they don't win this with the chances that West Ham had, I know that going to Stamford Bridge, West Ham would have taken a point. I was listening to a lot of West Ham fans saying, no chance of the way they're playing. But, before the game, they'd have taken a point. But I think now they'd be gutted with the point, wouldn't they? The way that they're playing.
Yeah, I think so. You've seen the chances they've had. The keeper's made a couple of great saves.
Yeah.
So, but there's still a long way to
You
go
feel
in this
like
game. I
Chelsea
think.
going to have chances,
yeah,
don't you?
anytime,
This?
yeah. Another
Guys.
sub at Liverpool coming.
Yeah,
Sorry
go
to
on.
interrupt,
Is
Paul.
it, it looks like
Origi.
Neil Maupay is coming on for Brighton, I think.
Yeah,
And is that Divock Origi for Liverpool?
it was.
So who do you think's coming off?
Maybe Fabinho.
Yeah.
I mean, this game's pretty solid.
Bournemouth in again down here as well.
Oh,
Worked
no.
his way into the area. Cross comes across.
Oh. Even in those 2 victories that Spurs have had so far under Mourinho, there has been like shaky moments, particularly towards the end of that West Ham game, and obviously that start against Olympiacos. Like, you can tell that the confidence is still quite brittle within the side.
The defence is an issue. There's no getting away from that. That Spurs have conceded a lot of goals this season, and even today when we look like we're cruising, and at West Ham, conceded goals. So that is a slight concern. Performances have definitely got better. I mean, Spurs look like they've been the better team. I can't say that categorically because I haven't watched the whole game, but big chance for Tottenham. Is that Son?
It's Son,
He's going to go for goal. Cut in and shoot.
Oh, he's missed the ball.
What happened there?
Is that a good tackle?
Corner.
I think it's a good tackle.
Got tackled. Well, I think he tried to
Yeah,
cut back in and
Firmino's
left the
going
ball.
off at Anfield and
Firmino.
Origi's coming on.
Firmino for Origi.
Haller coming on for West Ham,
Sebastian
surprisingly.
Haller coming on.
1 goal in his last 10.
But what a goal.
So what happened? Just this Son chance. He's through on goal. Slight angle, to be fair.
It's a good tackle.
It's a good tackle from Steve
Cook rolling back the years.
Lads, got a question in. He's playing out there today, but he's got in the comment section somehow. Christian Pulisic has asked.
Wow.
I have a question. What place do you think Chelsea will finish this season? Will, where do you reckon?
I'll go for a
Fourth, fair, below Leicester.
Actually, no, 5th.
Okay.
Oh, Brighton are in here. That's
Oh,
that's got to be handball.
Oh, he's got to be off
Talk
then.
us through what's happened here. Big chance at Anfield.
Just a one.
He's off!
He's off!
Oh!
Right,
Right,
Paul
Keski, this is a big moment at Anfield and also in the title race because they do not want to be missing this player. Talk us through what's happened in this game.
I think it was Dunk, or one of the back players just played a long ball through, right over the back four of Liverpool. I think Connolly ran onto it and tried to lob Alisson as he's run out, and he's handballed it outside the box.
And he's handballed it outside the box. Correct
it's a
decision
red
for the
card.
referee.
Normally so effective as a sweeper keeper as well. This is just a...
What is he doing?
Blatantly handball.
Do you know what? This isn't one for people that can't see it. He's not on the line. He's about 6 yards
Yeah.
out, isn't he?
Yeah. It's because he goes too...
Oh my
he's
God.
swiped it. It's like,
Sunday
he
league.
goes too early and he's far too out of his box and he's caught in no man's land, doesn't know what to do.
This is the replay, Paul.
There we go.
And then the swipe.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
Right decision, isn't it?
Yeah,
That is
it's a send.
moment
Tottenham
of
are in
magic.
again. Son! Oh, saved
come
by
on.
Ramsdale. Sorry, it's Alisson recycling.
Oh,
Oh, it's still live.
Still Tottenham.
This will be Liverpool's last sub now.
so Adrian bought as a, standing
Number two,
keeper. He's had a
yeah.
lot of game time this season, hasn't he?
Loves the football social as well.
Yes, he does. Lovely
Adrian
fella,
does.
Adrian, yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely.
So he'll be coming on and be surprised doing the take-off here.
Oh, this is going to be an interesting one for Liverpool.
3 games without Fabinho and Alisson.
If Brighton can get a goal here
Very
as well.
good point, Will.
Yeah.
Very good point.
It's just a one game now.
Oh, is it one?
I think so.
For a keeper sending off.
Just, yeah.
For
Adrian's played more games.
Looks
than
like
he's
it's
ever done.
the Ox coming off.
Ox is going off.
For
The
the
Ox has
goalie's
been
coming off.
substituted because of this. Doesn't look happy, but I think he understands the situation.
Yeah, I think Liverpool go to a 4-4-1 now.
Do you? Yeah.
Just leave Origi up top on his own now. Mane drop in maybe.
Not even warmed up.
Will, Mystic Gamer wants to know what's going on in the Chelsea game.
Chelsea all over them, but they've not really created many clear-cut chances.
Very nice.
Interesting substitution though to bring Sebastian Haller on for Antonio. I think maybe Pellegrini just hoping that the big man can do the work up there. And Yarmolenko's come on as well, and that was at 1-0 up as well. So
Right, do you want quiz time on the Football Social? We like this, and this is possibly the hardest quiz we've ever had. It's
Yes,
complete
come on.
potluck, and there's no skill involved.
it's not, because when you weren't here, we had one, and all the answers were wrong.
Really?
So we spent 5 minutes trying to do one.
Okay, well, I'm hoping all the answers are right because we've got people working behind the scenes tirelessly, very talented people as well, so I have full confidence in this, Will. So far today, Trent Alexander-Arnold has assisted both of Virgil van Dijk's goals. Now, only 3 players in Premier League history have assisted all 3 goals for a hat-trick scorer. Who are they?
Quick free kick. Oh, Brighton have scored!
Wow, for
It's a
Brighton,
quick
it's a
free kick
big
from Lewis
moment in
Dunk.
the game.
Lewis Dunk.
He's
Liverpool
took a
down to
quick
10
free
men and
kick.
Brighton have scored.
He took a
Paul Konchesky said that Lewis Dunk has got goals in him earlier. You are right. Paul, talk us through
Goal
this.
for Palace!
We'll come to Will Brayton in a minute with the goal. It's all gone off at Anfield. Liverpool are complaining.
I think Liverpool wanted the whistle. Dunk's just seen Adrian not set, and he's just hit the
So
free
this
kick.
is from the free kick.
Low and hard. Look, here we go.
That is
Not even
cheeky.
ready. He just took it.
The whistle clearly went. The whistle went. Lewis Dunk has just passed it into an open net. He's not even struck this. He's played it with the
played it
inset.
inside.
He's passed it.
Adrian's
Liverpool are
still
going
setting his
mad
wall up.
because they're saying that
No, he's blown it. You can see he's blown
it. Yeah.
That's
It's a goal, 2-1.
That's just bad defending from Liverpool. You've got to be set for
switched
that. You've got to be
off,
ready
yeah.
for that.
Paul's
Half
gonna
of
be ready for
half
that.
of them were looking at the Adrian. Adrian was, on the left.
Adrian is not happy. The defence is not happy. They're still
Dude.
complaining.
Oh,
Chance for Bournemouth. Oh, God, it's all going on. And
2-0
Lewis Dunk
Palace.
just passed it into the back of the net just to confirm Liverpool are down to 10 men.
Oh, Popey.
And there's a goal for Brighton. So, Paul, I want you to keep a diligent eye on this game now because it's a big, big last 10 minutes. Will, meantime, there's been a goal in your
again.
Brighton.
Adrian's come
goal
and
in your
caught the
game,
ball.
Will Brazier.
Yeah, Ben Mee shocking at the back, tried to clear it, kicked it up in the air. Crystal Palace recycled it, and then Nick Pope's not had the best of days. It's another one gone right through him at the near post, and it's Jeff. Chance for Chelsea, Willian on the right-hand side, ball across. Oh, Martin saved
Danger is
that.
clear. Still 3-1 in the Spurs game, Will.
Yeah,
Bournemouth look like they're starting to get back into it a little bit, though.
all Bournemouth, we've got 10 minutes left. If they can get a goal before injury time, the cavalry will be out in force. They've got a corner, whipping it
for
in.
Bournemouth.
Cleared away.
Oh, it's
Tell you
cleared
what,
away.
So
It's
many-
all go on the Football Social today. Goals galore.
The thing is with this Liverpool sending off as well. Like I've
Oh,
also
ref.
to go down to 10 men at Anfield. you don't want to play Brighton because they're so comfortable keeping hold of the ball.
Yeah.
And there's going to be so many more chances. Liverpool are really rattled in the last 5 minutes,
Chelsea on the
understandably
attack.
so. And 2-1, if it goes back to 2-2, Liverpool will definitely feel opportunity missed to go 11 and clear.
Yeah.
Kante's in here! Kante!
Chance to look, Chelsea.
Oh, he's offside.
He's
He's offside.
So just remind you of the scores. Right, we've got a minute. Burnley 0, Crystal Palace 2, Golfin Wilfred Zaha and Jeffrey Schlupp. Chelsea 0, West Ham 1, Aaron Creswell. Mikel Antonio has also had a goal disallowed in that game. Liverpool 2, Brighton Hove Albion 1. Virgil van Dijk with 2, but keeper Alisson has been sent off, and from that resulting free kick, Lewis Dunk passing the ball into an empty net. And it's Tottenham 3, Bournemouth 1, Dele Alli with 2, Moussa Sissoko and Harry Wilson with an absolute humdinger rip schnorter
Is
of
that
a
free kick? Get it, Smith. Look.
And it's another free kick.
It's the same one.
It's the same one.
Did it again?
Another pass.
They just won't learn.
But like you say, they just passed it into the goal.
I mean, that is terrible for
so
Liverpool,
easy.
isn't it?
They just
So
switched
easy.
off.
No complaints from
Sure
Liverpool. That
kick
is
from
just...
Chelsea.
Will, we have a question for you. Mukwaya Alvin wants to know what's going on with Spurs. Have they looked nervous since conceding that goal?
I think they have done. Every time that we've looked at the game, it's all been Bournemouth either in and around the box or trying to press in there. So they'll know that they've conceded 2 each in their last game. So they're pressing on with their substitutions. I mean, it's a shame they haven't got the likes of Josh King ready to use, but I mean, they've got a chance if they can get what we know. We've got about 10 minutes left.
Just under
Never
10 minutes
say
left
never.
in all of our games on the Football Social. And
Last
the Brighton
chance.
Liverpool game looks very, very tight and nervous for Liverpool fans now.
They've come right back into it
haven't,
right
they?
after that
Oh, I
goal.
could have hit that. Sorry, something.
This has got to be a surprise result
And
for
they aren't-
Chelsea as well.
They
Like
aren't lumping it forward, Paul,
No,
are they?
they're
Really
still trying to play,
the game.
yeah.
Chelsea's recent form as well. I think of that Man City.
Oh!
They're unbeaten in their previous 6. So this will be a real shock if they lose at home to West Ham, who've been in dire form.
Yeah.
What a story at the bridge.
Oh,
Yeah, big story developing at the bridge.
Gazaniga
Oh,
down
Gazaniga's
again. I don't know if he's time wasting. He's up already. He looked like he was about to be wheeled off in the ambulance, but then 2 seconds later he's fine. So he's just buying time.
Dominic Solanke, I think, with the challenge there. Interesting on Dominic Solanke, yet to score in 23 games.
I've seen
That's
it all
9
now.
starts since £19 million move from Liverpool in
Lovren doing
January.
his laces up for him. I've seen it all.
Lovren's doing Adrian's laces up.
Definitely wasn't prepared.
Guys, we've got a question in from Margaret Adeyemo. She wants to know who will win the Golden Boot this season.
Ooh.
What do you guys reckon? Are you thinking Vardy or
I think Vardy becomes one of the oldest, will be the oldest Golden Boot winner.
Quite
I
potentially.
think. He's 32.
32, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you see him going all the way, Paul?
The form he's in at the moment in the team, I do, yeah.
Difficult to bet against him.
And it'd be a great achievement from where he's come
Yeah.
from and what he's done. It'd be a fantastic. That'd be fantastic for him.
What do you think? The fact that he's able to keep his pace for so long is because he's come so late to professional football. Do you think that's had an impact on his current Indian summer of form?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. He's got no weight on him either, has he? So he's done well to keep fit and sharp, and he works really hard. To be fair.
Yeah.
So it'd be a nice achievement for him if he can go on and get the golden
Chance
boot.
for Spurs. Interestingly, Vardy is the 3-1 favourite with Sky Bet to win the Golden Boot this season. Chance for Tottenham Hotspur.
Dele Alli, who played so well. That's a terrible.
How's Harry
final
Kane
ball.
played, by the way? Because he's got an unbelievable record against Brighton. I haven't heard you say much about Harry Kane. How has he played?
To be fair, Spiff, he's been playing that link-up role where he drops back.
Sits back a bit,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, I think he got one of the assists for. I think it was one of the goals that was disallowed in the end. But he.
Goal at St Andrews! Birmingham City 0, Millwall 1!
Piece of work, you really are a piece of work.
A late goal as well. Sorry, Will.
Yeah, you can forget your VAR checks now, mate.
Substitute for Tottenham, Giovanni Lo Celso. Interesting player that Spurs fans very excited about. I've seen everything he's ever done in his career when we signed him. Watch every YouTube video. And I thought I'd see a lot more of him. He has been injured, of course. Hasn't had a lot of game time for Tottenham. He's coming on now. So he's a player that a lot of Spurs fans want to see more of. He is coming on. I think he'll be coming on for possibly Son, possibly Ali. I imagine it'll be a like for like.
Definitely. He'll be a great asset for Jose Mourinho as well because he can play in quite a number of positions.
Good
He can play in a
player.
deeper midfield role. Last year for Batista it was more as a 10.
Yeah.
And he brings with a wealth of experience having played for PSG. He's played
Technically
for top
very
clubs
good as
before.
well.
Yeah.
Another corner for Brighton. Seems like we've been giving away a
Rico
lot of
swinging
corners.
it in.
Bournemouth whipping it in.
Cleared away. Can they recycle
Seems like
it?
Tottenham have given away lots of set pieces. Will.
Chance for Chelsea. Oh, Bonner clearing. Edge of the area. Mason Mount.
man, that's not your best,
Got his
mate.
leg tangled. Very reminiscent of a young Will Brazier.
5 to go at Anfield. 5 minutes to go.
5 minutes.
It's going to be a long 5 minutes, I think.
Bournemouth, Solanke trying to work across him, pulls it back,
No,
shot!
no, no.
Oh, what a block! Chance for
What is
Burnley, saved by the keeper. They're still Gazaniga.
Go Gazaniga down again. They're really treated him unfairly today.
They have not touched him, Smith. I think what is happening.
I mean, I love Lucas Moura, but what on earth was that header, by the way?
He's caught the ball there, unless the ball's too heavy and he's hurt his arms. I don't know.
And I believe
why.
Spurs' substitute keeper, I think I'm right in saying, will be Alfie Whiteman on the bench.
Yes! Goal at St Andrews, 1-1! Put that in your grill.
I can confirm that is correct.
Yes, thanks Phil Chorley, superb producer.
Guys, we've got a question from Kieran Wingrove. Can you imagine...
What? Oh, sorry, we've got to go to that
you gotta
chance.
go to
Big chance for Brighton. Talk us through that one, Paul.
Oh, what a save!
Talk us through that chance, Paul, quickly before we go to Will.
Moyes just picked it up on the edge of the box, turned, put it through someone's legs and swiveled and shot. Great save by Adrian.
And as I predicted, it is Heung-min Son coming off for Giovanni Lo Celso, straight swap. And a chance in your game, Will, what happened?
Chris Wood got it,
what
clawed
a
it out.
save.
Smith, remember Old Trafford, David Seaman against Paul Pesky Salido, he's clawed it out as Guy
One of my favourite ever saves.
And mine, that's why we like each other, and he's kept the ball out of the net, and Crystal Palace on the way for a clean sheet.
It's been a game of phenomenal saves, Anne.
There's been a lot of great saves.
Actually, throughout the league.
And it is all go on the Football Social. Do not forget, get your questions into Doogie. The best ones will be answered.
Yes.
Give us your predictions. Who is winning the league? Who is finishing top four? Can you see a twist in any of these games? Injury at Stamford Bridge, Will. What's going on?
Yeah,
Another card being brandished.
Yarmolenko's gone down. He's playing for time. John Moss telling everyone, just calm down. Chelsea have got the free kick. But Yarmolenko down doesn't look good. Obviously, he had an extensive injury which kept him out for a season.
He did, that is correct. We are approaching the 88th minute. All the games kicking off at 3 o'clock. Don't forget, 4 games we are bringing you live on the Football Social. The score's currently Burnley 0, Crystal Palace 2. Looks like Crystal Palace are going to leave with all 3 points there. Chelsea 0, West Ham 1. West Ham with a hatful of chances that they haven't taken to extend their lead. So Chelsea have a few minutes left to nick and equalise there. It's Liverpool 2, Brighton over.
Kicking off at Spurs!
And it's all kicking off at Spurs, which is 3-1 to Tottenham. Will, what is going on?
Ramsdale's protection, I think.
Chance for Brighton! Paul will go to Brighton first. Anfield, big chance.
It's a massive chance. A little cross from the right wing. I think it was the player.
Ball whipped in.
Glancing head.
And Adrian just spills it.
Adrian.
Neil Maupay is just...
Oh, he makes you nervous when he does that, doesn't he? Oh,
Here we go again.
goodness.
The ball is whipped in. Keeper spills. It's a routine save, isn't it?
Right at him, yeah.
And Neil Maupay is coming in.
And then he flicks it away from him, just gets back.
Wow.
Oi, oi, oi.
Still
on,
kicking off
Adrian.
at Tottenham. What is going on, Will?
Lerma
and
and
Sissoko.
Sissoko going at it, handbags at dawn. I don't really know what's happened. Gosling got booked, and then the camera, when the camera pans viciously because there's a big brawler brewing.
Yeah.
And
Here we go.
I don't know what happened. Lerma. What is a push? I think Lerma maybe allegedly trod on Dele Alli's toes, and then everyone's come in. Everyone wants their 50p's worth, and it's ended up with a booking for Lerma.
89th minute, Paul. What is going on at Anfield?
No, it's gone quiet now. Liverpool just trying to keep the ball, keeping 10 men behind
Chelsea
the
and
ball.
Pulisic!
Big chance for Chelsea. Christian Pulisic's body language says it all. He knows that was a big chance. Head in his hands.
Yeah.
89 minutes on the clock. Frank Lampard swigs his water bottle, knowing, could that be Chelsea's last chance? I fear not. I feel there's more to come in this game.
Yeah.
It's a very, very open game at Stamford Bridge. Should do better. Christian Pulisic in the form that he's been in. Patrick Van Aanholt just limping itself more. Looks like it'll be okay to carry on. And it's kicked off a little bit at Tottenham. But the ball is back in possession. So all to play for now. Our main game. Oh, catch a breath. Can you see Brighton nicking an equaliser here, Paul?
I can't know, but I want to go check.
Offside.
He's offside.
Neil Maupay's look live.
Lads, we've got a question in
Yeah,
from Marco
yeah.
McDonald. It seems a bit silly when there's so much action going on here, but they want a quick prediction for Man United Aston Villa tomorrow. How do we see that going?
Man United, Aston Villa.
4 minutes left at Anfield.
4 minutes on the
of
clock at
injury
Anfield.
time. It's a big 4 minutes for Brighton.
I think Man United might
Emerson
just
down the
need that,
left-hand
Diggy.
side. Free kick!
Right, it's a big free kick for Chelsea. I think it's Ryan Fredericks with the tackle.
Got to bring the keeper up if I was a manager. Maybe that's why I'm not a manager. But Mason Mount standing over. It's going to be from the left, right foot, in swinger with about...
Nervous time remaining at Stamford Bridge. We're into injury time.
5
minutes. Paul Konchesky.
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
This
we
is
go.
in
It's
a
a
worrying
big 5
position,
minutes.
David.
Stinks of a Tomori header.
Oh, God.
Mason
Be a
Mount.
huge win for West Ham, but you just feel like Chelsea have a chance to nick one. It's been all them last 5 minutes. Will it stick with you?
Terrible free kick. Couldn't even beat the man at the near post. You've got to.
It's not clear, but Will.
Tomori!
Well
very
done,
brave for
Martin.
Martin.
Was there a collision there? Are they
Keeps it
competing
away.
for something?
What they're going for there?
Paul, as for confidence, you're in and around West Ham. You work as a coach there now.
Always down.
Martin, who would have been third choice keeper, of course, at the start of the season. Starting now, if he gets a clean sheet in a win at Stamford Bridge, what that must do for his confidence.
Unbelievable.
Oh, they're all offside.
His confidence will be sky high, won't it?
I think it's going to be brought back for
I
offside.
think he's made some great saves as well for
Yeah,
him.
he has.
So he's had quite a bit to do, and he'll feel great after
If
this.
they win this, it'll be one of them. He's on the coach. His mates will be texting me, buzzing. He won't be asleep tonight, will he?
I think his dad will be the first one to text him.
Yeah.
Might not be able to sleep, so he's nearly knocked out there. He's down at the moment. I don't know if they've given the free kick.
So Brighton on the attack.
Oh, is what's happened at Burnley. Oh, another great save by Guy.
Let's stick with our feature game because it's in the 92nd minute. I think 5 minutes on the clock there. Sorry, 4 minutes on the clock at Anfield. And
Brighton
it's all Brighton in possession.
Yeah, they're
Paul.
just keeping the ball.
Paul
They're
and
not
Chelsea.
really going anywhere. Liverpool playing hard to break down.
And Harry Winks is coming on at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Absolutely huge moment in the title. So they go 11 points clear
This
just
is
after
a big,
third
big
of the
last
season.
few minutes. And Liverpool, as good as Liverpool have been this season, they have ridden their luck with late goals and VAR
100%.
decisions.
Dele Alli off.
Have ridden their luck. Dele Alli and Jose Mourinho embracing again.
Cleared away, corner cleared by
Another
Chelsea.
poor set piece from Chelsea.
I still think we'll have 5 minutes though, because the board came up when Martin went down, so we've still got a lengthy time. Kante doing really well, bursting forward. To be fair, Declan Rice, Mark Noble, the whole back four have put in an absolutely stoic performance for West Ham today.
Play again. He's been lively, Phil, Paul, hasn't he?
He has, yeah.
You feel this is the last chance for it's a free kick.
I think that could be the last chance of the game.
It just feels like as well that these, when Man United kept winning by 1 goal and Arsenal did the 1-0 to the Arsenal, it's a sign of a title-winning team when they win ugly as well as winning well. Just grinding. Liverpool have grounded out so many results. Remember the Sheffield United game, played so well, and Dean Henderson had that error. There's been a lot of incidents like
the Villa
that.
game, they come from behind.
Villa game,
Exactly.
Palace
I just
game.
feel like Liverpool, they've got that, they're riding their luck, and it's theirs to lose this season.
He's been
really
pacing
do.
up and down as well, Klopp, on the touchline.
Has he?
Yeah.
He's a nervous supporter, Klopp, isn't he?
100%. And they didn't play particularly well in midweek against Napoli as well.
Napoli do well against Liverpool, don't they?
Napoli do, yeah. They've got a
team.
great record against them.
Bit of a strange
Chelsea on
one.
the attack, Will.
Yeah, a bit of a strange one. Hudson-Odoi ripping it
Great
in.
ball in.
Because he's bought Giroud off for Hudson-Odoi, we've got no recognised striker. So up front at the moment, I think we've got Kurt Zuma.
And how are they playing with the false nines, you think?
Well, I don't know. I don't know what Zuma's doing. I think he's just playing as a... Chance
Trent
again,
with
Just
Hudson-Odoi
had
goes
enough.
on the inside. Goes back to Willian. We've got to dink one in. I
just feel
think
like
they're all
Chelsea's-
offside.
you're gonna give that-
Stupid free kick
That
to
is
give
a
away.
very silly free kick to give away. We're in the 94th minute. Liverpool against Brighton, 2-1 at Anfield currently.
Burnley still pressing here. Smith down at Turf Moor.
It looks like Liverpool will get all 3 points because they've got the ball down there. And it's West Ham. You just worry about with this free kick on the edge of the box.
Yeah, this
Here
will
we
be
go.
their third or fourth set piece around their area as well. But the last couple have hit the first man, so they'll be wanting to make more of this.
Reece James standing over
Looks
this
like
one.
Reece James is over it, yeah.
Chelsea fans are very excited about Reece James.
All over.
It's
The
finished at
full-time
Anfield.
whistle has gone. It is a monster 3
Goal
points.
for Bournemouth!
No way.
Ye not rest yet, Smithy!
Oh, no.
Do not get
There is
comfortable!
so much going on here.
Harry Wilson came on as a sub and he scored his second. The first was a free kick.
VAR.
No VAR about this.
Chance
Oh,
for
maybe
Chelsea.
offside. Maybe offside. They're checking VAR offside on the keeper. He stood
Offside.
right in front of him.
Who's that? Bournemouth?
Bournemouth, yeah. So the VAR might work in your favour this time. Oh, I don't know. Is Eric Dyer in line?
Right, this is going to go to VAR. Bournemouth have the ball in the back of the net at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, which would make it 3-2 in the 93rd
Tongan
minute.
maybe keeping him on.
But it is going to go to VAR. We are going to see the beautiful lines that they do to see if he was offside. As again, Spurs 3-0 up. Again, late goals.
Yeah.
And the full-time whistle has gone at Anfield. It's a monster 3 points. As we said, these are the scenes at Anfield we can give you. Jurgen Klopp looks delighted. Paul, while we wait for the VAR decision at Spurs, thoughts on this result? It's a huge win for Liverpool, wasn't it? In cruise control before the sending off.
Yeah, massive 3 points for them. Knowing the results beforehand, knowing if they're going to knock 3 points, they're going to go 11 points clear.
VAR.
So massive 3 points for Liverpool, and it
of the
weren't
match.
easy, but
Virgil van Dijk, man of the match, do you think?
Give him the goal.
yeah, I'd
goal,
say so for
goal
the
at
first 2
Bournemouth.
goals.
And they've given the
3-2.
goal at Bournemouth. It is Tottenham 3, Bournemouth 2.
Still got about 10
so
minutes
much
left
to play for in our game.
Only a couple of minutes left at Stamford Bridge as well. West
We're in
Ham
the
hoping to-
97th minute at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and it's 3-2. Not fair.
I mean, it is fair, Smithy. That's why we have VAR. Everything has been
So
correctly
as good
checked.
as Tottenham have been again, it's another worry defensively that Spurs needs to just clear that. Just kick it away. Oh, my word.
He's in.
Offside.
He's
He's
in.
offside, isn't he?
Is it? Chance! Oh, Harry Wilson with the chance!
Just get it
That would have
away.
been his hat trick as well.
Oh my God!
was
He
offside,
didn't
by the
start, but he's made the biggest impact ever. I think Callum Wilson might be appealing for a penalty there.
He was offside, wasn't
He's
he?
offside, wasn't he?
Had to be.
Oh, is it going to a penalty appeal, this, Will?
I don't.
Please, no
I don't know what. Is that Sissoko heading it back there
Oh,
with
it's
the
a
word?
catalogue of errors.
And the game's still
Oh, it's a
going on.
great tackle.
The game is
Oh, is
still
it the
going on
second
at
one?
Chelsea
I
as
don't
well.
know whether he gets the ball here.
He gets the.
Yeah, what a
what a
tackle.
Hang on, no, it's the second one.
That
Oh,
is
no,
a
falls over.
phenomenal tackle from Jan Vertonghen, it has to be said.
Yeah, no,
What a
No, I think
tackle.
that's fine.
What a tackle that is.
Still playing
That's
it.
one you'd have been proud of, Paul, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And in the 98th minute, you've got to get that right.
You have to.
It is still going on at Spurs.
All over
West Ham have
Chelsea.
won.
It is all over at Chelsea. These are the full-time scenes. Chelsea been in great form. West Ham been in terrible form. Everyone said Chelsea win. What happened, Will Brazier?
All over at Spurs as well, Smithy. Sorry.
West Ham won was the answer I was looking for, but it is all over at Spurs as well. So big win for West Ham, and they're all embracing the keeper as well.
It looks like he's
David
about to
Martin's
cry.
crying there.
Martin is crying.
He's crying.
What a day for the young man in goal. Clean sheet at Stamford Bridge to win 1-0. And the full-time whistle has gone at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Jose Mourinho's body language there, Paul. I want to get your thoughts on that. He looks pleased with the win, but almost like he knows that there's still work to be done defensively for Tottenham. Another 2 goals conceded.
Yeah, I think we said it earlier. West Ham in the week, there was 3-0 up. Conceded
is.
2 goals.
Yeah.
And conceded 2 in the week and another 2 today.
And speaking of Martin, look at these scenes.
Overwhelmed
Someone
with
you must
emotion.
know as well. Crying.
It's a proud day for him. He's a beloved West Ham fan, and his family are, and he's kept his clean sheet on the
33
first
years
game.
of age, Premier League debutant. He must have felt this was never coming.
Exactly.
32 years old, never made a cap. 33,
Oh, he is.
clean sheet on his debut at Stamford
I
Bridge.
think that proves how well he's played there. All the players have gone over to him and
Yeah.
tapped him on the head. And
Well done. Thoroughly.
Absolutely
performance.
enormous.
And a
result for
full-time as well,
Pellegrini
Doogie. Sorry to interrupt, but it's Burnley 0, Crystal Palace 2. So big win for Crystal Palace in that game. We can catch our breath. Exciting goals, exciting games, exciting day. Will Brazier.
Great to have you back, mate.
What have you made of this day, Will?
Fantastic, isn't it? I mean, I didn't think Burnley would concede 2 at home to Spurs and then, to Crystal Palace, but then Spurs 3-0 up and then they've conceded 2 again. Harry Wilson didn't even start, scored 2 goals, and then what a performance for this. Pellegrini, I mean, people were
Look at
saying
those
he's part of the
scenes we are looking at Stamford Bridge.
They're absolutely bouncing. Paul,
The
a
away
London
end is
derby.
bouncing at Stamford Bridge. The West Ham fans are still there, Paul. This is what an away day is all about, isn't it? Declan Rice, Mark
games
Noble.
like this,
And how big is this for the manager? Pellegrini under a lot of
Massive.
pressure. Huge win for him.
massive. And, like coming off the back of the Tottenham game,
Yeah.
where people were talking about him maybe losing his job, and
Yeah.
you go to Stamford Bridge, who's been on excellent form, and you beat them 1-0, clean sheet as well. So, what a great day for West Ham and the fans.
They deserve an enormous amount of credit. Like, Ogbonna played outstandingly, Rice and Noble
Yeah.
in front as well, and then Cresswell on the left back. I haven't seen him play that well for quite a
I
while.
don't think
What
that
a
man gets
well-taken
enough
goal. Snodgrass
compliments
as
either.
well.
Yeah,
100%. What
he
a
plays with
set-piece
his heart
delivery.
on his sleeve. To be fair.
He's a player that, as a fan, you'd appreciate in your team because of
Yeah,
the work
the
rate.
work
he puts
rate,
in.
yeah.
So these are great scenes there.
Fantastic for
And
the
young
manager
Martin
as
in
well.
goal as well.
And Declan Rice as well, like him and Mark Noble, they've been coming under a bit of criticism.
Yeah,
and,
particularly Declan Rice as well.
He's
Listen to the away end as well.
I mean, I need his moisturiser if he's 32. That's
David Martin, look at that.
What a moment for them.
I bet his dad Guy
And
at home.
Snodgrass
will be-
looks in unbelievable shape there, doesn't he, by
He
the way?
does, yeah.
Wow. Look at that, unbelievable, Nick Snodgrass there. Lovely scenes from Mark Noble as well, embracing that. And we just saw some shots of Jose Mourinho as well. So, let's give you confirmation of the results from today. Exciting, we did see quite a few goals. The early game was Newcastle 2, Man City 2, Raheem Sterling and Kevin De Bruyne from Man City, and goals from Jetro Willems and John Joe Shelby. So big game in the title race.
Where's
and
he
that brought us
going
on
here?
to our 3 o'clock kickoffs. Burnley 0, Crystal Palace 2, Wilfried Zaha and Jeffrey Schlupp. Big win for the Eagles. And speaking of big wins, even bigger win for West Ham. Massive, massive result. 1-0
Dada.
thanks to that Aaron Creswell goal against Chelsea. Liverpool 2, Brighton 1. Virgil van Dijk with both, but Lewis Dunk with the goal for Brighton. And, of course, Liverpool were down to 10 men after Alisson's red card. And Tottenham making hard work of it again. 3-0 up in cruise control. Dele Alli with 2. Musa Sissoko, they took their foot off the gas. It wasn't in cruise control. Went down to second gear. Harry Wilson with the 2 goals. Spurs stalling a bit, but ultimately they go over the line, getting 3 points through the green light. And it is all 3 points for Tottenham. Was that enough car references for you?
They got a great engine. That's what kept them going.
Well done. Best of the lot. And Southampton versus Watford is our live game. So let's bring you that Premier League table because I'll show you how important that game is. Live on Sky very soon. Kickoff is at 5:30. Coverage from 5 o'clock. It is bottom against second bottom. That is what we call a 6-pointer. Norwich make up the bottom 3. Man United in the bottom half still in 11th. Have a look at the top of the table. Liverpool fans will be delighted with that. Look at that difference.
Massive.
40 points.
Well,
Plus 20 goal difference.
No relegation for them this year.
29 points for Man City. Tottenham as well with the season they had. Up to 5th in the Premier League. So, wow, what does a win do for you? Amazing, amazing day, Football Social. We always do this, Paul, we were across all the games. Who do you think was the standout player? I know it's a tough one to chuck on you. Player that you were most impressed with? West Ham, any West Ham players or?
Maybe Dele Alli.
Dele Alli, you think? Stand out for you?
Scored 2 great goals again and getting in the positions to go and score a goal.
Yeah.
You didn't see that before he got injured and he's getting that little bit of form back and hopefully he can kickstart his goal scoring form again.
Yeah, so Dele Alli with the performance today. Worth putting out some other notable mentions. Cresswell with the great goals. Zaha looked good as well. We've got to talk about Martin, keeper and goal. We can give you some footage actually because it's still going on at Stamford Bridge. And of course we all know who that is. That is his dad, Alvin Martin, West Ham legend. Look at what a proud moment that is. David and Alvin Martin up the Stamford Bridge steps, hugging in tears. Great to see.
Obviously, his brother Guy will be happy as well. What a day for the Martins. Fantastic scene.
Great day. Great day. Right. Do we have time before we go off air? We will have time for a few more questions. We've been sending questions.
We certainly do, yeah.
Quick and fast.
Celestru Dumpu has asked, do you think this is the title sewn up for Liverpool, guys? 11 points,
11
only just
points.
a third of the way through the season.
We did a Football Social, I think it was like the 3rd of January when it was Man City, Liverpool, and what was the difference then? 10 points.
Could have gone to 10.
Could have gone to 10. So as much as they have got the point difference, the one thing at Anfield when they take the lead, if they don't take the lead, the pressure goes on even in November. So I don't think it's over just yet.
Yeah, I think City will be a different proposition in the new year when they get Laporte back, when they get Sane back as well. I mean, if you lose your best centre-back and one of your best wingers, any team would be affected.
Worth putting out, if Leicester beat Everton tomorrow, it does go down to 8 points. I think.
Yes.
I know a lot of people are just saying it's a 2-horse race, but I think it's a bit unfair at this stage to just write off Leicester when they do go above Man City with a win. So big game, of course, live on Sky, that one as well.
Liverpool now without Alisson and Fabinho for the next, however long, big suspensions.
Big loss that is, yeah. But Liverpool again getting the job done. We're just looking at replays there of Jurgen Klopp. You called it earlier, Paul. Pacing up and down the
He was
touchline.
pacing.
He wasn't calm today, was he?
I think once Alisson got sent off, the nerves must have got to him.
Yeah.
And as soon as they scored, that was him. He was up and down, up and down.
He looked very cold as well, didn't he?
He did from minute one,
hats, glasses. I mean,
he did.
He had everything under control, and of course his classic grey hoodie that he always wears. So big win for Liverpool. So what's reflecting on the Man City result as well, because we were watching that before we came on air.
Yeah.
As good as Liverpool are playing, do you see there are a few cracks in this Man City team compared to last season? Still an unbelievable squad, but the injuries seem to really be playing a part this season.
Well, I think last year everything was quite set for them, especially like the defensive midfielders and the defenders. But we've seen the fullbacks been swapped and changed quite a lot. Obviously, Fernandinho stepping in for Laporte when they've got Otamendi on the bench today. So I don't think Pep knows his back four and going into a title race. That's quite concerning.
Any more questions, Doogie?
Yeah, we do. We've got one from Owen Hunt, who wants to know, how did it feel for Paul to score from the halfway line against Fulham?
Against Fulham?
Against Fulham, he's asked.
No, I scored for Fulham against West Ham.
Right. Owen, come on.
Every time you score, especially for a fullback or defender, it's a great buzz. On the alternative, though, it was against West Ham, so it was a bit gutting for me, but you had
Was
to
it? A little bit?
Yeah, because against West Ham,
Yeah,
but you had to do a job, and so to score a goal, and it was a good goal, to be fair.
Yeah. Do you think that for you is the hardest type of goal to score, the long ranger? Or would you say like a volley's harder technically?
A volley's it's hard, yeah. So it's all technique, but I scored a couple of long ranges, so I'm getting used to them ones.
Yeah.
You did like a ping, didn't you?
I
Actually?
did, mate. I did, but yeah, that's probably one of the best ones I've scored, and it was at Upton Park, so it was nice.
Nice.
Love that. Let's go to a few more questions, Doogie.
Ian Struggles has said...
To ask a question? Or?
Ian Struggles has asked a question. What do you think Mourinho needs to do to sort out the defensive issues? Do you think it's a change of personnel needed, or is it just not going for them at the back? I mean, what did we see today, guys? Was it individual errors, or what was
do you
the problem?
think, as a former defender, Paul, with Spurs? I mean, is it the personnel, or do you think that it's in the coaching for Spurs?
It's going to be a bit of both. Mourinho's going to bring his own plan, how he wants to play, how he wants to defend. And you see and hear at the moment they want to play expanded football, which he's obviously brought that, because that's how he used to play.
Yeah.
But on the other end, you're conceding goals, so there's got to be an in-between. And I think once he gets his work done, when he gets time to coach them properly, because he's had 4 games now, once he gets his points across, I think that they will come a bit... stronger from the halfway line back.
They work with him. It is a worrying stat that they have just kept 1 clean sheet in the Premier League this season. That was home to Palace, which is the fewest in the division, which is quite crazy really for a team that will be looking to finish top 4. Lost the most points from winning positions this season, 12. I know they didn't lose from a winning position, but they nearly did again. I don't know whether there's a confidence issue at all, but they were looking to win back-to-back Premier League games for the first time since April, and they have done that. And I suppose the result is the main thing, but something they do definitely need to work on.
100%. YB Ramirez has asked as well, where do you think West Ham will finish? They've obviously just got that all-important win. Where do you think they'll end up, Paul?
With the squad they've got, I'd like to say in the top half.
It's so tight there as well.
It is. Like you say, you win 1 or 2 games and you can be right up in the top of the half of the league. But that's going to give them a lot of confidence after winning at Chelsea today. So if they can build on that, I'd like to see them in the top half.
Nice. And speaking of West Ham, Doogie, it's a good point you make actually, because West Ham are always one of these teams that you think or talked about as to break the top 6 going into the season. But their last 5 seasons, they've finished 10th last season, 13th before that, 11th before that, 7th in 2015-16, and 12th before that. So they haven't really threatened the top 6 for a long period of time. But it was a good win for them. And of course, man of the moment was David Martin. And brilliantly, we can hear from him now. This is what he had to say.
David, it's been a long wait for your Premier League debut. How do you feel it went?
Yeah, still doesn't feel real yet, but obviously I'm pleased I got through it. I didn't let anyone down. I did actually enjoy it in the end, which I didn't think I would do.
Great celebrations at the end, and you were in the stand with your dad giving him a hug. What did Alvin say?
Nothing really. I think we were just both in tears really, so you couldn't really actually say a lot. But for my dad to see that here for a club that he played for 21 years and make my debut and keep a clean sheet and get a win for the boys, more importantly as well, it's just a fantastic feeling.
What a moment for him as well. Good interview as well, that wasn't it?
Very good. Proud, like I said, proud moment for him and his family all being there as well. So well done to him.
Nice to see, wasn't it?
Well, he's got to be England's number 1 now, hasn't he? Surely going after that clean sheet at Stamford Bridge, get him in the England squad. But he's not on. The age isn't really on his side there for Gareth Southgate, is it? 32 for Martin.
I love how sarcastic you are.
What?
It's a big moment for him, Will.
I'm being genuine.
Him. Come on.
Get Martin in the England squad. I mean, that's fantastic. If he keeps it. I mean, what's good for West Ham fans as well. No Roberto, I think, is the main one, isn't it? Coming away from that, Paul, with him at the back 4.
Roberto hasn't had a brilliant few
games.
No,
he hasn't in the games he's played. I think he's made a mistake in most games. So the guy going in, Martin going in and keeping a clean sheet and made some great saves, Will.
What's that like for you playing as a back 4 and you've got rid of a keeper who's got a few mistakes? Do you have extra confidence going into a game like that?
I just think in total at the moment, West Ham, they were always worrying they're going to let a goal in. So it might be the goalie, it might be a defender. So to keep a clean sheet now for the back 4 and the goalie, I think it was a big part to play. I see some of the saves he made. It's massive for him, and to get a clean sheet at Stamford Bridge is... hopefully they can go and build on it. Yeah, well done, David Martin. A brilliant story, and great to see those scenes as well. Right, that is all we've got time for. What a debut from Paul Konchesky. You enjoyed the show? Loved it. Are you coming back on? when you invite me.
Definitely get it on that note. We'll get off there. Big thanks to Doogie, different class as always. Will Fraser, lovely jacket, lovely hair, lovely man. Let's have a look at when we are next with you. The football socials come thick and fast this season. We will be back on Wednesday. Loads of games going on Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Soccer M and Football Daily's YouTube channel, and some top guests will join us then. So come and join us on Wednesday. That's all we have time for. We will leave you with our best bits. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye. Paul Konchesky, great to have you on the show. Woo. What took you so long, mate, coming on?
Really and truly?
Yeah.
You not inviting me.
You've thought about that on the train down, haven't you? The content
No,
one.
I just came up. Come up with that.
It seems to have been started
Honestly,
quite
mate,
well, Bournemouth.
I ain't just doing this to wind you up. It's been all Bournemouth. Oh, crumbs!
Oh, go on, what happened?
Go on, Will.
I think it was Rico, the left back, from about 35 yards, fired one at Gazaniga, and then it was wobbling and shaking in the air, and he's just about dealt with it.
Chance Liverpool!
Go!
Konchesky!
It's a goal!
Goal! Come on, you Spurs! 1-0 Tottenham. Get in there. I missed it.
Like from there, but Arnold put it in his own net. what a clearance.
Guys, we've had a question in from Xavier Lord Noodlebrain.
Wow. I did say, has it gone to VAR? You said, no, absolutely fine, 17 minutes ago. It's been disallowed. Tell us what happened and why.
The guy on the left looks like Howard Webb. That is rude. I am Sax. No, me. It's me, I
Do
think.
you get that a lot, Howard Webb?
I've never had it, but bald jokes do continue. You know?
on, what other-
Balding is beautiful. I
Who
am
else did you
Sax.
get there?
James right foot! Oh! Would you believe
Chelsea 0, West Ham 1.
Quick free kick. Oh, Brighton have scored!
Wow, for Brighton, it's a big moment of the game.
Lewis done!
Liverpool down to 10 men and Brighton have scored.
That's what it's done really well. Right, boom!
Let's go!
2 goals!
West Ham United!
Spurs have scored as well!